his shot will always be
Yeah,
fairly
he's
fairly solid.
legendary.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, yeah, Space Ghost like super fanboyed before we joined the
Yeah,
game.
dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
admit
been
it.
a journey. It's been a journey, that's for sure.
yeah,
I
and
don't
And
I
then,
don't get to
dude,
play as much anymore, but I can still
I wanted
hang for a little while.
to ask you a few questions, just like coaching wise. Like, you know how back in Halo 3 and Halo 2, like, a big thing was like timing power weapons, right? And like,
Yeah.
what are the main differences versus coaching in Infinite versus like a previous Halo?
So to me, there's levels to it. Like
Yeah,
for the top like 3, 4 teams, like it's going to be different than like the top 16 teams, for example. Like
of
top
course.
top 16, you're managing more probably personalities, like a lot more negativity in the comms and shit. A lot of times, like frustration, shit like that. But like at the top level, like top six and higher, like there should be none of that really, especially at tournaments. So timing is obviously not nearly as important as what it used to be.
Hmm.
Um, Halo 3 obviously was very fucking hard for coaches to keep track of everything on like pit
Yeah,
and
you had
shit
the
when there's
hats and all
two
that. Yeah.
snipers, OS and rockets, and then both snipers and rockets could all be glitched, so they're all coming up at different times. Like
Right. It's a lot.
I wouldn't be coaching if it required that because I was never good at tracking all that and doing that math in the head. Like Towie was always very good at that. He never missed any times, but um, it's much more like for me just managing like the game, like game clock, like letting the guys know what I think the win cons are, like King of the Hill. If we're up 3-1 or something on streets, and the last hill is the rocket spawn hill, like a lot of times I'll ask if we just want to slay, like do we want to go for hill, do we just want to slay, that type of thing, like calling out numbers. It's another big thing, like keeping track of how many we have alive and how many are dead on the other team, and then uh, keeping track of who's alive. So like if we killed 2 or 3, and then we know who the last guy alive is, making sure we know what that name is.
Definitely. And do
So that
you
we're
yeah,
call plays at all? Like, let's say if you have like a ball setup, we'd be like, let's do X
so
setup here. Or
I
is
ask a
it?
lot of questions. It's very rare that
Mhm.
I'm like we need to do this because at the end of the day I definitely especially at the caliber of the guys that are on the team that I'm coaching. It's like
Right. No,
they know
it's
the
a little bit.
situations just as good,
Yeah.
if not better, than I do. So I don't want to tell them how to play, but like if we get 2 or 3 dead on strongholds, I'm gonna ask if we want to go for the triple cap or if we're gonna hold for just keep the 2 cap, shit like
Hmm.
that. So I'm making play calls, but it's more so asking questions and just getting the guys talking about what the play is.
No, that's
Um,
huge. Like asking questions, that's something that like makes a lot of sense. And obviously, like if I were to get into it, it's not going to be optic, right? It's going to be like some AM stuff, and so I guess there's just like a learning curve, and you learn your team, right? And then
yeah, and that
figure
will
out what
be
goes from there.
yeah, that'll be a lot of what the conversation today is based on, and just like improving teamwork and overall game sense is. To be honest, like 99% of it comes from comms. Uh, on forcing teamwork, creating teamwork, making sure you're in positions on the map that you're going to be able to help your teammates, and then in the same token, eliminating the callouts that are worthless, not good. Like like somebody says uh. Yeah, like if you're just screaming like one shot callouts and positions of the other players, you're probably not communicating very well.
For
Like
sure.
that is important information, but what's more important is knowing what your teammates are doing, what you're doing, what the other team is doing, that type of thing. Not just like, there's guys here, guys here, guys here, guys here. Like that. Again, that is important information in certain times, but it's more important to make sure, especially at the top level. But it's something that you guys can start working on, implementing, and trying getting better at is just communicating with your teammates. If you see a teammate pushing one way, say you're going with them and do not leave them. Follow them,
Yeah.
shoot at what they're shooting at, force teamwork. Like that's in order to get better, that's what you have to start implementing. If you're playing with guys consistently, like the same guys consistently, matchmaking obviously that's next to impossible because a lot of times there's not comms. A lot of times people are just. I mute the comms. I don't use any comms in matchmaking because more times
What's
than
the
not,
point? Yeah.
more times than not, they're just complaining and bitching and saying how it's the guy that's 5 and 20 that's bitching about his team not helping him. It's like you're just getting
Yeah.
shit on, so I don't care what you have to say right now. You just step it up, like that type of thing. It's blunt, but it's like I don't have time to listen to somebody bitching and matchmaking, especially most of the time they're the ones that are getting shit on. So if you are going to communicate, especially a lot, make sure your comms are good, useful, good, solid information. You're not bitching. You're trying to direct your teammates whenever you can. Like, if you know there's 3 guys in one spot of the map, like you probably want to avoid that spot. Tell your teammates to avoid that spot, and then focus on something else with your team, type of thing. Like those are the cons that should be coming through when there's the enemy is stacked heavily somewhere on the map. How do we
Yeah.
want to play around that information that we already have? And it all has to happen very quickly, concisely. Like, you don't want to be, ideally fumbling through your words and shit, trying to get like every second matters in those situations. Like, especially when the team is, the enemy team is stacked up heavily somewhere. Like, the timings that you have are very tight, they're very small. So if it's taken a while to communicate what you want to do, it's probably too late at that point. You've already missed your window. They've got you surrounded. Like, then you have to play the situation differently than what you would have 5-10 seconds ago, type of thing.
Yeah, it's a big one for me. Like, I mean, I'll say I'm with somebody, right? But then I'll see like an easy one shot and then like dip off and get that, and then it just fucks up the whole positioning, right? So
Yeah, and I mean, there's times that it is good to branch out. Like, if you know there's a one shot that's like a free kill, it's easy to get. Like, you don't have to go way out of your way to get. Then it's obviously probably a good thing to go kill it. But if it takes you a while to kill it, you've left your teammate, you've isolated yourself in a situation maybe where you're chasing a kill. Like, that's where it becomes really bad, because shit starts to fall apart, break down for your team when that's happening. Because it might seem harmless at the time, but like 5-10 seconds later, you might be across the map from where your teammate is. If it's not communicated properly, like
Right. Right.
especially at like in the matchmaking level, like where if you guys are scrimming, just playing matchmaking, whatever it may be, like at the end of the day, if you're gonna bail on your teammate, you need to tell them every single time, like I'm leaving you, you're by yourself now, like that. And if your teammate makes a bad play and keeps pushing or something, and it goes and dies, that's his fault at that point, because you've told him what you're doing, and he can either call you off and say fuck your play, come with me, or he lets you do it, lets you do your thing, he does his thing, and hopefully it works out. But
Yeah, but it changes the whole gameplay as soon as you call that out. Like if somebody says I'm leaving you, then you just play a little bit more, not even say passive, right? But I
yeah,
mean, it
but a
changes
lot of
everything.
times you probably want to, like, yeah, if you know you don't have help, it should change how you play the situation that you're in. Like if I'm isolated on the map and I know that I don't have teammates near me, I'm playing way safer. I'm playing my shields much harder. Like as soon as I get one shot, I'm fucked if I'm by myself.
Yeah,
Anybody
you don't
is
even
in this
take the
game.
challenge.
Yeah, like if you get yourself one shot when you're isolated somewhere on the map, you're probably gonna die. As most of the time, if you're isolated on the map and your teammates are somewhere else, the other team is probably near you more than they are your team. Like they're trying to find the weakness in where you guys are set up. So if they see one guy that's by himself challenging till he's one shot, you've just made a bad play and you're probably gonna get collapsed on. You're probably gonna potentially lose the setup for your team if you give yourself up easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know teamwork
So
almost always evolves from just communicating with your teammates what you're doing, that sort of thing. Like you can force teamwork very easily in Halo, um, but it can't happen by just yelling call outs, calling out one shots. Like that is not the information that creates teamwork. In fact, that creates desperation, which is usually the opposite of teamwork. Like you got guys,
for sure.
you're gonna keep get your teammates jumping out at one shots that they shouldn't be, because maybe if there's a guy one shot on the other team somewhere, he probably has somebody that's covering him, or many
Or at least
situations
he should
with
be.
good with good players. If I see a teammate that's one shot, I'm gonna do everything I can to keep that guy alive on my team. So like
Mhm.
you got to think that's what the other team is doing in a lot of situations.
So like this is kind of on a tangent. I don't think I just have one more question. So like one thing that I've noticed that really impedes me is like my mental get like one thing I really noticed like in that phase series with y'all when you were down like a couple games in the series, right? But you guys pulled it together and just finished it off instead of getting like mentally in a rut. And I know that just comes with experience, but like how do you guys keep the same composure when like maybe things aren't going as well? Like do you
Yeah,
do
so
just the gameplay or do you just like kind of hype each other up?
so there. I mean, obviously, yeah, that series I think we were down 2-1. We ended up stringing off the last two to win that series, but uh,
Yeah,
from my perspective, like my job in those situations is just keeping the morale good, making sure that there's not, we're not bitching. Like that's one thing that's going to always separate amateurs, or even the top 16 guys from the top 6 guys, the top 4 guys. Like the top 4 guys can think they can win, whether they're down 2-0 in a series and down fucking 100 seconds in Strongholds game 3, whatever it may be. Like there should always be hopefully belief in your team that you can bring it back. Like all it takes is one triple cap on Strongholds to bring a game back, or one spawn cycle on oddball. You rotate the ball well. You string off a bunch of time. The game's back in your hands. Like I think that is definitely always the thing that separates amateurs and even semi-pros from the big dogs is like your mental is probably the most important aspect of Halo. Like your confidence and everything like that has a direct impact on the plays that you're making. If you spawn up and you just got shit on a couple of times, like you're probably going to make a more passive play off your spawn than if you're feeling yourself, you're shooting well, like everything kind of determines your decision making in a game, like how you're playing, how you're shooting, all that. So
and that's a skill in itself, really.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you see guys that are at the top level for 10 plus 5-10 plus years. Like they have the mental, like they're constantly improving themselves. They know there's stuff they can be working on, that sort of thing. So it is very much a there's a lot that goes into it. It's not one thing. Like the comms in that phase series was never negative. It was always we can do that. Like we lost close games too. It's not like they shit on us in either of them. So it's like we didn't clutch up in those games. Like we moved to next. Like within the first 5-10 seconds after losing a game, I say what the next game type is, and we just stop talking about what the previous game was.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
How is it that you? I'm sorry, I'm late to this conversation. Anyway,
you're good.
My bad, yeah. But usually, how is it that you get like if you we're all semi-performing or whatnot? There's a guy obviously staying out in the team or whatnot. How is it that you get probably the one teammate that's suffering in a series or hence a game? How is it that you get him to bounce back from having a negative performance to help impact, or do you have that player be more of a facilitator at that point, or do you have them do the same thing to reset the mental, or how is it that you can reset the mental on that player that we obviously know is low at this point and we need him to perform on the next one? How is it that you go about that?
So I'll say that I think that's again another one of the biggest mistakes that amateurs make or semi-pros is like they see their teammate maybe say your teammate goes neg 10 in a Slayer or something, like has a real bad game. He's not making good plays. He's not shooting well. Whatever it may be. Like amateurs will immediately be negative towards him. Like, you got to fucking step it up. You're making a lot of bad plays. Whatever it may be. Like that's the worst thing that you can do, because I can tell you right now that player's mental is going to get worse from comments like that. Like,
yeah, right.
Most of the time, he's not going to improve what he's doing. The best thing that you can do as a team is to realize like, we're a fucking team here. Like it doesn't matter if we're you're neg 10 and I'm plus 10. If we lose the game, we lose the game. It is what it is. So the best thing that you can do as a team and as teammates is to fucking force teamwork with that guy. If he's just getting shit on or not shooting well, start running to him as many spawns as you can. If you spawn anywhere near him, say I'm with you, Clutch. I'm with you, whoever. Like just run with me. And you start forcing teamwork. Like that's really one of the only ways that you can get somebody that's in a rut out of a rut in game.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
You have to start forcing it. You can't just if somebody's getting shit on more than one game in a row, like they're just having a bad series, like it's gonna keep happening unless you do something about it. Like,
yeah, I feel like you've done that when we've played before.
I mean, it's like if I see somebody having a rough game or like a rough start, even like say somebody's like 0-5 or something, like. They're clearly on a bad spawn cycle. Their timings are not good at the moment. Like that's when you have to start forcing it. Like Clutch, come with me. We're going purple. Or Clutch, grab ball. I'll lead for you. We're pushing this way.
It changes the game a lot. Like yesterday we played 5-6 games, and it changed. Like the oddball game changed in the second round just from rotating the ball differently. Calling out what to do. You just directed a little bit.
Especially in objective game types. Like Slayer's one thing. Like obviously it's all about kills and deaths, but objectives, like if I'm having a bad game or something, I'm probably going to try and force. And I said this to Clutch yesterday. It was the first game of the day, so he wasn't having his best game. He's warming up. Like,
oh no.
If you're having a bad game, just like start going, like force oddball. Like if it's an oddball game, you should be the one forcing oddball every time you can. Like if we get 1 or 2 picks early, like you should be flying for oddball, no matter what. Like no matter where you're at on the map, as long as you're anywhere remotely close. I would go grab the odd, and I do that. I do that.
Force, Do you mean like kill the guy with the oddball, or like try to like?
Well, I'm assuming if you get a couple kills,
like
they probably like they don't have the oddball. If you get a kill or two an oddball, they probably are not going to be controlling the oddball. They shouldn't be anyways because you have numbers. So, like by force it, I mean like literally take the fastest, most direct line that you can without dying. Like if you just fly through the middle of the map after you get a kill or two and you die instantly, that's a bad play. Obviously,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
you can't do that. But like
yeah.
hit a good curb slide or something, get through the middle of the map quick. Like that's where movement becomes vital. Like if as soon as you get a kill or two, and I have a teammate that's struggling, I want that teammate to go grab oddball and just get some time. Because anything that's not a Slayer, any objective game type, the best way to put maximum amount of pressure on the other team is by playing the fucking objective. Obviously, like it doesn't matter if you've slayed the other team out 3 times in a row. You have full map control. If you're not getting objective, it's doing nothing.
So, I have another question for you on regards
to let me just say this too. I love the question. So just if any questions you guys have, like that's going to lead us into good conversation. So
based off of objective, right? Let's say we're playing any type of objective, right? Do you? I mean, I see you guys playing everything, and most of the time I see you guys mainly well set up, and that's probably just the experience that you guys have playing together. But usually, when you guys are playing an objective base, do you guys let them come to you in regards to your setup, or do you usually like to force the hand off of like the respawn timer depending on the position in the game? Like how, like example, like if it's a very like tense game, like we're like 235 230 and you only have 1 push left, or maybe not even that close, like 200 do you allow yourself to get set up at that point, or do you kind of play a Slayer based game with that in the last seconds? Like how is it that you go? Because I feel like when we play, obviously we're not a team, right? But we play enough together to where we understand. So do you think that we should be allowing them to come to our setup to try to crack the setup, or should we be forcing the hand off of the spawns and kind of just rolling them off of the respawn timers is my question.
So I'll start by saying that it's super situational. Like every situation, like any situation is going to be different depending on where all 4 of you are at on the map and where you think the enemy's spawning. But more times than not, anytime that you can apply pressure off the other team's spawn, you're going to be doing something beneficial and probably helping yourself win the game. At the same time, if you force that and your timing is off, like you're too late to get to a certain position, they've already spawned up, somebody's got,
you get wiped off on the wrap at that point.
Yeah, so the easiest, I guess, situation I can think of off the top of my head is like on streets, for example. Say you have a CB set up in street strongholds, you killed all 4 of them, and you think they're going to be spawning PD, and like you can make it to cafe. So say you get to cafe and then you're crossing people that are spawning like caution PD area. You can get some early shots down. You get yourself maybe half shields to quarter shields. Then you need to run away. But you've already got damage down. You've created pressure. It makes the other team feel uneasy immediately off spawn because they're getting shot. So like they can't just make a free play off spawn. Like nothing seems open when you're getting shot the moment that you spawn.
Right.
So that type of pressure is what leads to mistakes. Like maybe that guy challenges you too hard, you get a teammate that flanks or something from market, you get an early pick, and that kind of wins you the game. The thing to keep in mind though is like if it's very situational, because if you have a couple of teammates that are playing safe, and then you have a couple of teammates that are playing aggressive off their spawn, that can fuck you to death, and you all die, and then you lose the game off of it.
Yeah, so I guess that's what more of the question I'm trying to ask. Do you think that in objective-based games that we should have a much more aggressive play styles, since it seems as though that's what works for us at this point? Do you feel as though that's what's better to continue to do, or do you think that it's much like you're saying situational? Because I feel like there's cases like where it's vice versa, right? We're in that slump, we're in that phase where we're getting bum rushed off of spawn and stuff like that. So how is it that you develop the mental to, or not necessarily the mental, but the strat or the breakdown to get out of that?
The most important aspect of it is making sure that you know where they're spawning. So that's the issue. A lot of times is like, we have the perfect setup. We know they're spawning PD. 1 or 2 of them spawn up. Say like your guy that's in sub, that's blocking sub spawn, pushes out a little too far because he's going to try and help put pressure on it. They spawn behind you in sub. Your entire setup breaks because he pushed out a little too early, and you lose the game again. Like, so it's about just like knowing where they're all 4 spawning is the most important thing. Like, just because you know they're spawning PD at first doesn't mean they're all going to spawn there if somebody in your team leaves a spawn too early. Like,
right,
so
a couple seconds
to me,
later.
so I guess you just have to make sure you're checking all the boxes. Like, yes, you want to put pressure on them right off their spawn, but you also want to make sure they're all 4 spawning in the same location, ideally. It's totally viable to play it either way. You can play it safe. To me, it's a little more risky because you're giving the other team
right. That's what I was about to say.
space.
It's too safe, right? Like that's the thing where I find in this game is the problem. Like you can't be too safe. You just can't.
But I would also say, like, in matchmaking, or until you get to a pretty high level, playing it safe is probably the smarter way to play it for you guys at the moment. Like, it doesn't mean hiding in corners and shit. It just means, like, don't push into their spawns, or don't push them immediately off their spawn. You know, like, you can have them. Yeah, like you have to know where they're spawning. And again, it's not good enough just to know that they're spawning PD. You have to know that they're all 4 spawning in PD. Or you have to know at least that there's a chance that they could split out wherever it may be. Like, say you left Red Room or something, and your guys in Market collapse on them PD, they're probably going to spawn behind you at Red Room, like 1 or 2 guys. So just making sure you're keeping track of that is by far the most important thing when you're holding a set, especially when the game's coming down to the wire.
Do you guys usually have somebody like keeping track of timers, like a designated person, or is that just more like that's the expectation of everybody?
That's a 5-man job. Every time, or 4-man for you guys, if you don't have a coach. But that is one of my biggest responsibilities in the game, is calling out numbers the entire time. Every time I see multiple guys dead, I'm saying 3 on 2. As soon as you hear a 3 on 2, immediately there should be a switch in your brain that clicks, and you can play a little more aggressive, a little more loose. You have numbers, and that's when you want to find teammates. That's when you want to force teamwork even harder. Because you know that you have numbers. You have numbers wherever you should go.
And you need help. Are you usually like counting down the time? Like, do you put it in your brain, like as soon as you see the timer, like are you going like 10, 9, or 7, 6, or are you just calling it as you're touching it?
Yes, I have a mental timer in my head that I have after playing Halo for so long. Like, I know when I see a name on the kill feed, approximately 10 seconds later he's spawning. So especially if there's multiple that we've killed, like say we killed 2, and we haven't killed the last 2 guys alive yet, I'm gonna say 2 guys spawning now. Like, about and it doesn't have to be exact. Like, I can't hold back obviously to see exactly when they're spawning. I'm not holding a controller, but I know a general timeline of when we could be getting shot in our ass because we haven't killed the other 2. We're still hunting them, but the 2 teammates that we killed first are spawning. So I say, 2 guys spawning now. Like, and then if I have an idea where they're spawning, I might say 2 guys might be spawning Ivy, or 2 guys might be spawning Red Room. Like, and as soon as that comm is said, if you're one of the guys that's hunting the other 2 guys alive, like, you need to be aware of those spawns, where you're gonna be getting shot in your ass from, and make sure you're positioning yourself in a location that you can't be getting shot in your ass, because that's when setups break. Is when the guys that you killed originally are spawning up and are able to get to the fight again before you kill the other guys. So
do you usually have like I'm not like I mean, like I watch all your guys' streams, so I basically I try to catch up on where it is. But do you usually have like a straight up IGL in game that's like essentially like calling out, and then the team follows that initial like response, or you kind of just letting everybody do proper due diligence and just running about to their knowledge of the game? Like, because that's what I feel like, and I feel like a lot of people have said that, like, like there's always an IGL, follow what the IGL says, or not necessarily follow, but be aware of what's happening to that degree. So like, do you guys have like a designated IGL like in game, like or do you guys just?
Yeah, that's another 5-man job ideally. Like, every team is going to be different. There's going to be players that don't like to play call at all, so they'll just basically call out what they see on their screen and not make play calls, which that's fine. Like, that's a viable way to play. But to me, like, all 4 players for sure should be trying to play call whenever it's their responsibility. Like, if you're one of the first guys that spawns on your team off of like a 4 dead situation, you should be saying at least what you're doing off spawn, so your teammates know what they need to be doing. Like, if you spawn in sub on streets and you're all 4 going to be spawning there, like, somebody needs to immediately be getting to like commando to check, you make sure you're not going to get flanked. Somebody needs to try and play for like stalker if stalker's up, and then figure out which
Right,
side.
just information.
Yeah, and
Real
then figure out
quick,
which side you want to hit, whether it's
do you mind-
purple or mid or market.
I just wanted to ask with like strongholds, is there a preferable like point to hold, or do each have their pros and cons? Like, is there a certain one you strive for?
I would say each has their pros and cons, but there's definitely like your A, your A setups, like your ideal setups, your number one, however you want to say it, like your top setup that you
Right.
would
Yeah.
prefer. Like I would say like
It's
recharge.
usually gonna be something in B, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I would say recharge. I would say the most ideal setup on any strongholds is almost always AC. Because like live fire spawning the entire team at green just sucks for them if you have them surrounded. Recharge, it sucks if you're all spawning in yellow, and the other team has full elevator and C plat, and it's just very hard for you to push out. You're pushing out doorways.
Yeah, I mean
You
we
can
can
push
try
out yellow
that.
stairs. Yeah, I mean you can push out yellow stairs. You can push out pipes, which again are just very small doorways. So they're very easy for the enemy team to watch. And then the same thing on streets. Like if you have an AC setup and they're all spawning market, it's very difficult for them to push out of that. If you're all properly positioned, you're getting damage down off their spawn to where they don't feel like they can push for free anywhere. Like, so yes, there is ideal setups, but you can make any setup work really. Like you can
For
work
sure.
A B, you can work CB. Like it doesn't really matter. It's more so about positioning.
And then ball
of where
setups.
y'all are.
Like I've seen those kind of like fluctuated. It seems like the meta kind of changes. It seems like Subway is right now popular for streets ball.
Yeah.
Or for any game more than that play on that map, I think.
I would say the biggest mistake that really even a lot of the top teams make is like oddball is not. Well, if you're the ball holder, your mindset should never be to go post up somewhere and you're not going to move until you die. Like whenever I have oddball, like I could show a film from yesterday. Like I was one of the last guys alive on live fire, and I had ball top tower, and I milked an extra 25 seconds just jungle gymming around tower with ball, like constantly moving. Like whenever I have oddball, or and anybody on our team for that matter, like our goal is to be moving that ball around based on whatever information you're getting. Like if you have ball and window on live fire, and you hear they're spawning green. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously going to control it as well. Like if you're outnumbered, you probably shouldn't be holding oddball anyways, unless you're moving it. But if I'm in window on live fire, for example, and I know they're spawning green, I'm going to get the ball out of fucking window because they're going to push big door, they're going to push A plat, and I'm going to die. So I'm going to probably push it towards like OS, go to cuts. I'm going to be rotating that ball to get it into the best spot that I can, and just keep moving it based on where the enemy team is at, what information my teammates are giving me, and what I see on my screen. I am never grabbing the oddball with the intent of standing still somewhere. I am constantly looking at of where my windows are, where I can move the ball to. Like if I have ball and Ivy on streets, more times than not, they're going to hit hard on one side or the other. They might hit mid, they might hit purple, they might hit market with 2 or 3 guys. So as soon as I know that, I'm moving the ball the opposite way. I am dropping the ball and I am curb sliding and I'm running as fast as I possibly can until I'm in a safe position again, and then I hold ball. So that is by far the biggest. Like matchmaking is my least favorite game type to play in matchmaking because people just don't know how to play with oddball. People stat whore, they don't ever go for ball, or when they get it, they just go post up somewhere and they don't ever move. But when you see like any of the top teams playing, and ours as much as anybody, the times that we're playing at the best and going on our biggest runs are when we're moving the ball all over the place.
I usually see that happens when you guys play like a because I usually see that in the actual pro HCS and all that. Yeah. That you guys actually like to fight a lot more instead of actually doing objective. Like you guys like to just essentially get like milk like 7-10 seconds tops per play. And the only time you guys will actually do like an actual 20 to 30 points is when you guys are actually rolling the team off of the aggression that they're giving to you or you're defending, right? So I find like that's very situational, and I think that's maybe like the best way to play. Like, I totally agree, because I mean I think if you're essentially just fighting or attempting to grab the ball, but you're always fighting for it, it's much more of a mental game at that point, I think.
Well, the biggest thing that you got to keep in mind in oddball is that anytime that you turtle up and try and like hold a setup, like hiding in sub or something, and it's a 4-on-4, you're all alive, you have the ball and Ivy, and everybody's like trying to play real close to the ball or around the ball. The thing that you have to keep in mind is it's a 3-on-4. Whenever you're holding oddball, you're outnumbered. So I think that's where a lot of teams get in trouble. Like, yes, you have full map control. You killed all 4 of them to get this oddball set up, but now you're at a disadvantage because you're holding oddball. So that means that's one less guy that's able to shoot. And that's why those setups break down so often, especially in this game, because people can move around so fast. Like that's why the oddball guy, in my opinion, should always be looking to move, drop ball, help fight. Like people just get so lazy with oddball. They think because they have the ball and they're getting time that they're doing the right play. But if you watch my screen compared to a lot of people, like I feel like I'm super impactful with the oddball. Like I am putting a lot of pressure on the other team. I'm constantly rotating it away from them. Like they have to work to kill me and they have to work to get that oddball from me.
Then you're getting points and
exactly, and you're creating pressure on the map because based on where I'm moving is determining where the enemy is moving. Like if they're coming big door hard and I rotated the ball to cuts, they are so fucked. They're just chasing me around. I'm running circles around them.
And then that gives your team time to spawn.
Exactly, that should be giving my team room as well. They're playing off of me, not off my teammates. So it's even more important. Like my teammates are going to have a better chance of killing them because they know where they're coming and they know that they're not potentially looking at them because they're trying to kill me.
Once you're playing the objective, at that point, whoever grabs it, it's kind of like the captain. They're navigating where we're going, how we're going, and stuff.
Exactly, and that's when we're playing oddball for our team in particular. The best is like APG has ball and he's just rotating circles around the other team. He's saying what he's doing. Like our team plays off that information perfectly. So that again it's a situational thing, but I always it's always been my pet peeve throughout every Halo is oddball in matchmaking because people just don't know how to play it. And it's been that way my entire 15 years of playing Halo. People just don't know how to play oddball. So, getting kills is obviously important in oddball. But if you have 0 seconds of oddball in any oddball game, you were playing bad in my opinion. I don't care if you went plus 10. Like, there was probably a situation where you could have got oddball and got it out of there. Or moved it. Even if you have weapons or something, and you just get oddball into a safe position and toss it to a teammate, and then you go right back to slaying. Like that difference could be the difference of you winning the game or not. Potentially you string off 20-30 seconds because you got the oddball out early.
Have any series that come to mind that you guys had like a really good oddball game that would be worth watching? Or
I mean, I would say any oddball game we win most of the time is because we're rotating it well.
I mean, that's fair.
There's very. I don't know if we lost. If we lost it,
you guys didn't drop the game. You didn't drop the game.
Yeah, I think we lost. We lost Recharge King of the Hill. Yeah, we lost Recharge King of the Hill a couple of times. That was probably our 1 week game type last event, but we lost like 3-2. It was close games. But yeah, in general, like objective play is always the way to put pressure in objective games is always by the objective. Obviously, controlling weapons and stuff is a close second in terms of like applying pressure. But if you think about it, like think about any oddball or King of the Hill game you've played. Like, say the enemy team slays you out 2 or 3 times, but they didn't get any objective. Like, you probably don't really feel that much pressure. Like, okay, cool, they killed us 2 or 3 times in a row, but they got like 5 seconds of oddball. I don't feel that much pressure, but as soon as you get killed once and they've strung off 35 seconds or something in oddball or King of the Hill, whatever, you feel a lot of pressure. You feel like you need to go make a play immediately, or else they're going to cap the hill or run away with the oddball game, whatever it is. So.
And what would you say is a problem when that happens? Like when we allow a team to do that, like 30 seconds, 60 seconds.
Yeah, most 70, of the time it's because
the problem?
People are trying to make a play too quick by themselves. Somebody on your team gets picked real early or something, like when the other team has a setup. As soon as the other team has a setup and somebody on your team dies quickly, they fucked up bad. Whoever on your team dies quick. So, like if the other team has an oddball setup, you got to think you're in a 4v3 as soon as your entire team is alive. So you have numbers, you have the advantage on wherever you push. The issue is people don't set up a push. They don't wait for all 4 people on the team to be up. Like, if you're the first spawner up on an oddball game and you immediately like slide into like purple hall by yourself or slide into market on streets by yourself and take a 1v1 and you lose it, like you just made a very bad play because you didn't allow your teammates time to help you. You died, which now puts it at a 3v3 or a 3v4 potentially when the other team is holding oddball, and so then your team is pushing. You're fighting an even numbers game then because it's they have oddball, so you're technically fighting a 3v3 with guns.
Right.
So like that is why so often in matchmaking games get out of control because teammates just don't wait for one another. Like it's just somebody goes and tries to take
everybody's
a piv.
trying to be the hero.
Yeah, everybody's trying to be the hero, and then it doesn't work. Like it's most of the time too in those situations, if you're pushing into a setup, you're pushing into weapons, you're pushing into, they have extra nades because they were able to collect shit on the map because they just killed you. So they're gonna have shotties, stalkers on, rockets, whatever it may be. Like, so it's even more important to take the time. It's not to say that you need to hide in a corner until all 4 of your teams is alive, but you need to put yourself in a safe position that if you do run into a fight, you can either A, leave the fight, or B, somehow stay alive. Whatever it takes. Like,
Or
you
win
just
the
cannot
one
die. Yeah, I mean, you cannot die by yourself before your teammates are there to help.
Yeah, so it's not really good to solo chow whenever they have control of the objective.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worst time to solo chow is like when the other team has a setup and there's times that you might have to, like, if they need like 15 seconds of oddball or something before they win the game, like, you got to go make a fucking play. So hopefully you can win a 1v1. But more times than not,
point is to
yeah,
avoid that, right?
more times than not, more times than not,
by 4 people.
Yeah, you got to make a call with your teammates of what you want to do. Like that's where it's more important that somebody on your team is making a play call of whatever you think the win con is. Like, we know there's multiple guys on so and so side of the map. We need to hit hard on the other side. You don't want to you don't want to push directly into like the 2 or 3 guys are market. You probably should play middle map and purple or something on streets, for example.
Yeah, especially like recharge, especially like when you're trying to push that attic spawn and you're gonna get smacked by overhang side and bottom angler. Like 3 angles actually: control, top A, whirlpool. I mean, even triple stacks at that point. There's many angles at that point. So I feel like certain maps, like those certain angles, should be known automatically off rip. Like, that is not a position that we push. Like, we push here, and the way we push that is by having somebody else distract the other side of the map with the angles that we know are good for those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and those are the things too that, like, at the top level, those don't even really get communicated. Like,
they're just done.
Our guys just know where they need to go off spawn more times than not, and most of the time they make the correct play. Like, and that's where your goal should be to get to. Like, but until it gets to that point where you're not making like the silly mistakes, like that's why the communication is what I'll harp on the entire time we're talking today. It's like you have to make sure that somebody in our team is not going to go make the faded play because you just told them what they should do. Like, we should hit purple here. We know their market, or whatever it may be. Like, everybody just has to take that accountability and trying to make sure it doesn't happen, because that's that's what's separating the amateurs from the pros. Is like,
do you immediately,
little mistakes.
When they have a crazy setup like that and you get that one down, do you guys just start pushing when you have numbers to try to break it?
I'm constantly trying to find the weakness in their setup. Like, I'll speak from my experience. Like, if I know, if I spawn up like PD, for example, I might look market for a second. If it looks clear, maybe I would make a play over there. But it's like, even if it looks clear, there's probably a guy hiding. So, like, there's not going to be any free openings on the map really ever if they just slayed you out. So, like, people, and that's what baits people, players that are making those mistakes so easily. Is like they look there, they don't see anything, so they say, fuck it, I'm just going to go try and go because there's nobody here. Well, yeah, there probably is. They're just not making it obvious. Like, they basically set up a trap for you. Maybe there's a guy on balcony with stalker rifle waiting for you to push market. He's going to shoot you once or twice, and then you're going to get cleaned up from a guy driveway or a guy hiding red room. Like, those are the plays that don't happen to me very often. Because I'm expecting it.
Precisely looking for. Yeah, you're already putting yourself in the position. You're putting yourself in the position of where your enemy's at to kind of understand where you're coming. Yeah, I try to do the same.
And I understand. And I'll put myself into like a safe position. Like, if I'm gonna push market, like if I'm the first guy pushed up, I'm gonna probably go like into tires, where like I can get a good amount of information at market side. I can check arcade. I can check market a little bit. Like, I can look red room, peek out the corner. I'm playing corners. Like, I'm never going to fully engage or isolate myself in a super open area. Like, you'll never find me in the front of a base or in the courtyard or something on streets if it's a 4v4 and there's really not much information. Like, I'm not going to put myself in that crazy open of a position. I'm always playing around a curb that I can curb slide off of, or playing in a hallway or a room where I can squeeze around a corner.
Have an escape route.
Yeah, like I've always got my next play in mind if shit hits the fan. And that's what you guys need to always have in the back of your mind, is like, how do I put out the most damage and stay alive the longest with the situation that I'm being given?
Right.
They're not always going to be obvious. Like, obviously I still make bad plays or have a bad challenge, but like, I know when I'm in a 1v1 that I need to take the 1v1 because if I win it, it's huge. If I lose it, it's not the end of the world. Like those are the game sense that you obviously are striving to get to.
Yeah.
Where you're,
because
if
you
you
can
watch,
also rely on the fact that your teammate is coming behind you, and usually that's the way it goes. And that guy will get cleaned up, so it'll just be another 1v1 at that point.
right, and that guy should be common, like when he's coming to you, so you know exactly how much time you need to buy too. It's like, if I know if I'm in market and my teammate says they spawn PD, I'm coming to you, like I know probably within the next 5 seconds I should have help. So I need to at least stall for 5 seconds in order to get help, or else I'm gonna die. Like those are the types of the things that are, it's all in the back of my head. It's not something I'm actively thinking about in the moment. It's just that timer is in my head somewhere that I know I need to milk my life for a little bit longer in order to get help. So I'm doing everything I can, fucking being a nuisance, like sliding into corners, sliding out of corners, like everybody knows how to milk. It's just a matter of how much effort you're going to put forth into staying alive as long as possible. Because you watch somebody like Lucid play, he's so slippery.
Yeah.
Like Tommy is never an easy kill. You'll never see Tommy just go die in a faded way.
He's
ever.
not.
He is so hard to fucking kill. No matter what, he's curb sliding, buying an extra few seconds for his team, like being annoying with repulsor, utilizing the equipment to the highest level.
Yeah,
like,
his
those
equipment
are all.
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
When did he start? Like, did he compete in H3 at all? Or did he start in like H5?
He started in H5, yeah. As far as I know, I don't think he played anything competitively before that. He might have played Halo, but not competitively.
Right, no, just
he runs around on the map for hours, almost every day. But
really,
by himself, working on movement, fucking repulsing, figuring out what he can grapple on, grapple up on top of ledges.
Sandboxing, yeah.
He knows how to do like the bizarre big door jump onto the top bridge. Like there's
HCS.
How many other people have you ever seen do that? Like Trippy knows how to do it. He just did it the other day too. But it's like Tommy showed him how to do that. Tommy showed everybody on our team how to do that jump. So it makes a difference. You see his grapple flag runs on Bizarre, like it's almost unstoppable for the other team. Like he grapples it across top center and he's already gone before they can even shoot at him. Like.
And you guys do a real good job of like playing off of like hit, like you find what everyone does well. Like you said, like Tommy does really good about like with his movements, and he's hard to kill. Whereas like ATG really kind of holds on the objective, and then just tailoring each other's strong points, which is like again just comes with time. That's what I think makes you guys so unstoppable. Is you guys don't go through a lot of roster changes, right? So you really get comfortable with each other. Everybody's gonna default to like a specific role that they like to play. Like I was always more defaulting into like the support objective role, but like if I got sniper, I could mess people up with it at any point. Like I was always confident and going off with any weapon, but it's like. And that's what needs to happen. Like you don't want somebody that's only going for oddball on your team because right.
When you have somebody that's like forcing objective, that's when they're probably making bad plays. Like they're going for objective when they shouldn't be, just because they feel like they're the objective player. They need to go do it. That's not what you want. You want to be you want all of your plays to be based on the numbers are the main thing. If it's a 4v4, you probably shouldn't be doing the objective. Like you need more.
Another question for you about oddball.
Yep.
So, all right. So there's a 4v4, right? We wipe out 3 of theirs. Last one's alive is ball. He buys enough time to where he plays ball. Their teammates spawning. As a team, do you guys usually push that 4th, or do you guys turn around and kill the 3 that you guys just killed, knowing that they're coming right behind you, or they're relatively close to where you're at the time?
I mean, depending on the timing, you almost always want to try and kill that last guy, because if he lingers, he becomes a major problem.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Then he's going to be shooting you in your ass, and the problem is if you turn to fight. If you turn to fight the 3 that are spawning, like it's not going to be an easy fight. You're fighting equal numbers basically at the spawners. So you want to in a situation like that, you want to take advantage of your advantage, which is the fact that you have heavy numbers on one guy. So you need multiple guys.
Or do you want to do like 2?
You don't want to have 4 guys pushing it, because then at that point you're losing complete map control because you're all looking for one guy. But you want at least 2 guys, and maybe even one guy that's like shadowing. Maybe not staring at it, but he's waiting. Like if he gets a call out that he's coming towards him, he could play for him. But you don't want 4 guys with their backs turned from the map pushing one guy that's like trapped in a corner, because he should be dead to rights with 2 guys hunting him. There's times that like Renegade or somebody has cracked movement that can stay alive for a lot longer than he should, like because he's milking around net. Like Street's the best example I could give is like a guy that's like back soda nest area. That guy is really anybody that's back there that's like crack is very hard to kill. He's constantly like playing ring around the rosy, jumping up and down, from bottom nest back up to top nest. Like even with 2 guys hunting that guy, he can be hard to kill.
Yeah,
but it's it's just it's a give and take thing, because like if you have 3 or 4 guys hunting one person, then there's probably a lot going on the map outside of that one guy that's gonna fuck you real soon if you have that many guys looking for one. So it's something to keep in mind. You always want to press whatever your best percentage play is, which is always going to be utilizing your numbers. If there's somebody isolated on the map that you can pick out, like if you listen to our comms a lot, say Recharge, Slayer, for example, it's very standoffy. Normally you have a team that's set up like Elevator Gold maybe, and then a team that's set up like Tower C Plat is usually what the default ends up being. If we know that there's like, say 2 guys expose themselves Gold or something, and we know there's only 1, maybe 2 guys in Elevator, we might isolate those guys in Elevator and say we're gonna hit 4 guys towards Elevator. Maybe 1 or 2 guys go top cat, 1 guy sits top tower, crossing the guys at Gold to try and back them down, and then 1 guy goes like bottom center to mid bridge. And we know that we're all 4 going to focus on those 2 guys at Elevator and try and isolate the Gold guys out of the play. Which you can do once you get inside Elevator. Then they can't shoot you unless they push you. So, like that's just about kind of playing off the info that you have. Somebody making that play call, say let's play off these guys at Elevator. We know they're heavy at Gold.
You just hit that hard. You just
I mean, you obviously need to be calculated, but you can't just fucking put your head down and just like sprint across, CAD and shit, because you're going to be getting cross. But like, you want 1 guy that's like putting damage down on the guys at Gold, so they can't just sit there and shoot you for free. And then as soon as you get guys weak, you go. Like everybody needs to be on the same page and be ready to hit a curb slide or something to get in quick. Like that's the thing, is like there's just so much that goes into it. Like I don't want it to, there's not a particular break or something that's going to work.
I feel like it's much more of the individual, like the individual role playing. I feel like it comes to a lot of individual plays too, like understanding where you're at, and aside
it's all about timing.
Right. Just understanding the IQ of where you're at the time.
Yeah, like there's if a teammate calls there's a guy 1 shot at Gold, like you were in tower, you got good shots on the guy at Gold, he got you half shield, you got him 1 shot. As soon as I hear that there's a guy 1 shot in Gold, I know that he's probably not going to peek. So I have a very small window, 5 seconds or so before he gets his shields back and he's going to peek aggressively again, that I can go.
You can.
That doesn't mean it's going to work, but that's my best chance of it working if I go in that little window.
Because if not, you're going to get pushed by the guys that are flanking him that already gave information to them.
Exactly.
So you're the next target.
They also have information on where you're at, so obviously, like you're not pushing into anything for free. But nothing in Halo is ever going to be for free. Like you can't ever expect to push into something and it's just going to be completely wide open. It might be when you get there, but you can't expect that. You need to always be expecting there to be engagements. Check your corners. If it's like, you push into Elevator and you don't see shit immediately, like maybe there's a guy hiding around a corner behind one of the pillars, bottom Elevator. Like you just got to be diligent and not get lazy. Like you can't push into something and just not see something in the first couple seconds and think it's open. Like, and that again, that's I think what separates a lot of amateur players from the top level. It's like you don't see pros getting backsmacked in a corner very often. Like it does happen. Somebody makes a heads up play and hides in the corner in the right moment in the game, but more times than not, like those guys, the guys that are making the cheesy plays, like hiding around corners and shit, are getting caught at the highest level. So just keeping that in mind, like there's obviously the windows and timings and shit are another one of the most important aspects of Halo. That's something that you can't teach. We could talk about this for hours every day for the next month. And if you're not recognizing them in the game and taking those opportunities and those windows, you
can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, that's got to be something that you're wanting to implement into your game, is like, knowing when to challenge so you're 1 shot and when to not. Like if it's a 4v4 situation on Recharge Slayer and you're in tower and there's a guy top commando and you challenge him till you're 1 shot, that's bad. Like you're probably going to get pushed from top Elevator. Like if I hear there's a guy 1 shot in tower and I'm top Elevator, I might push across top cat to try and pick that guy.
Yeah, I would.
So that's another, you got to also take it out, and there's just a lot that goes into it. And the best way to get better at that is to put yourself in these situations. If you're the guy top tower, don't challenge until you're 1 shot. Challenge until you're half shields, and then immediately start checking. Then you're worried about yourself. Where do I need to look now in case I get pushed? So I might hide in the commando corner and just stare at top cat to see if I get pushed, and be ready to bank a nade off the floor, at a guy that might push me, so that at worst maybe I trade, which is a bit still good. A trade in Slayer is not bad. The score is obviously staying the same, and you don't lose control off of it.
Right. It's understanding your weaknesses too, and where your position is, and
yeah, that's all. That's all a part of like the bigger picture. So again, and that's why the communication, and I keep beating that issue, is like that's how you avoid those cheese plays from happening, where like somebody pushes across top cat into tower on the other team. Like that guy should be punished hard as hell for doing something like that, because it's a really aggressive play. It's something that's easily punishable if somebody's watching you. If I see a guy in tower, for example, this is the best example I could give. Like if I see my teammate challenge till he's one shot in tower, I immediately going to keep my shields and I'm going to stare at all the doors. I'm going to keep checking his doorways until he gets his shields back, and then I'm going to go make a play somewhere else or look to do something else. But anytime you see a teammate get one shot and he stays alive and goes and hides somewhere like near you, you should be trying to keep your teammate alive there, obviously. But so many guys will they'll see their teammate one shot in tower and they'll immediately go like bottom tower towards mid bridge or bottom mangler and get themselves one shot too. They'll take unnecessary damage that they could have avoided, and maybe you get pushed out and you both die because of your play. Like, so yeah, again, it's just about thinking of the bigger picture, like realizing what your win conditions are. The shield game is one of the most important parts of Halo as well. Like usually, if you win the damage battle in a standoff situation, you have a better chance of winning that engagement, that scenario.
No doubt.
Just making sure, like, you're not the one that's getting one shot every time. Like, you just gotta keep in mind, like, whenever you're shooting across the map, that's the least dangerous guy to you. That guy is not going to kill you unless you let him kill you.
You don't need to be too worried about it.
You don't need to be too worried about it. Like, unless your team is about to make a push and getting that extra bit of damage is very important, you probably shouldn't be getting yourself one shot to any engagement across the map ever. Like, I put 2 or 3 shots down. I get myself to I'm like half shields, a quarter shields at worst, and then I'm out of that fight. I'm immediately refocusing my attention on whatever's in the immediate area of me, whatever the closest threat could be, if you will.
So, what do you guys have like practice at all? Really, just more like scrims, right?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much we scrim 5-6 days a week. Right now we're scrimming 6-7 days a week as Worlds, but.
Yeah, like let's say like your Halo 2 days, right? Like what were you doing to try to like break into that tier before you hit there?
I mean, again, it was just a lot of practice. Like there's some film review and stuff, but
just playing with people.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience, like to get four players, and then if there's a coach, 5 players invested in watching film for more than like an hour is very difficult. People lose their attention span. They're not even paying attention. Like, I've been around for a long time, and watching film is definitely important, but I usually watch film on my own. Very rarely would our entire team get together to watch film. Like, if I would find something or see something that was bad, I would go over that one specific thing. So it was very quick, and like, it's very, even at the, we're at the highest level, but even to get all 5 of us all invested, in a specific film review is it's almost impossible. Somebody's always got something going on. There's distractions. You're living your life too. Like, everybody's at home, their girlfriend or wife or something's trying to talk to them while we're going over film because they know they're not playing. Like, there's always something. So
yeah,
it's very important for you to watch your own film and critique yourself.
Yeah,
but I think it's much less about trying to change what your teammates are doing. Like, that's kind of on an individual basis. It's assumed at the top level that everybody's going to be making the right play off of their spawn.
Right,
exactly.
Or that people
we would more be critiquing. Yeah, we would be more critiquing watching a film like of general strategy. Like, we're all trapped in sub. What do we think is the best way to get out of that? Would be like something we might talk about. Like. And usually that's like immediately getting a guy to commando who could potentially flank out trash towards cuts, or just getting commando in general is number one priority when you're spawning in sub. That's the first position I'm going to go fill if I'm a first spawner and nobody's there, because that's the easiest place for the enemy to get to for free. So yeah, it's obviously very important.
Oh, man.
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, we can go over some individual maps and go over like just general type stuff. It's up to you guys, kind of how we want to go. Up to Clutch, how you want to proceed.
Yeah, what do y'all think, guys?
What kind of time frame are you working on?
Like what, like another hour probably, I think. It's kind of, what do you got?
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to run a couple matches. I mean, if you wanna play like that, or if you wanna just like go into a custom
Is there just
game.
3 of you guys right now?
Yeah, I think the other guy.
Yeah.
I mean, we could play some matchmaking and kind of get the comms going, or if you want to go over maps and go like. The thing is, like, you know, going over maps and stuff. There's really nothing like I'm gonna be able to tell you that's just gonna make your guys' team work better. Like, you know,
100%. It's all situational.
It's all going to be communication and making sure you're saying the right things, filling in the right positions where you see your like if you see your teammate pushing out purple quickly on sub, you probably should be going with them or going towards them at least to where you can help them get out of your base. Like, yeah, it's just going to be making the heads up plays. Like, we can definitely go over a few situation stuff on maps, but I think especially while you have me here, like just playing some matchmaking and just like calming with one another and seeing what I'm saying and that can be beneficial as well. But that's ultimately up to you guys in Clutch on how you want to do this. It's really
absolutely. No, I mean, I'm more like, if I was gonna pursue anything more seriously, like I did some coaching in Halo 3, we got like top 20, and that's more like, what I think is best suited towards my skill set. Like, of course, I'm down to compete, right? But like, just having been in the scene for so long, it's like I feel like I'd be more suited to something like yourself. Whereas I competed back in the day, but that's just kind of like if I was to go to more events, that's what I'd be worried about. But I'm definitely down to play with you guys and do whatever I can to help.
Yeah, it's definitely yeah, I was gonna say, and even if you get your 4th in there, I could coach you guys if one of you guys screen shares, and do it that way too. It's totally up to you guys.
Send me an invite real quick, Clutch.
Yeah,
well, I say we just play a couple games. Might as well.
Yeah, we could do that. Sounds good.
I mean, we can go over stuff in the game, or I can talk about shit in the game while we're playing too. Like, what I'm trying to focus on off spawn, or what the team should be focusing off spawn. Like, again, like Halo is just so situational. So it's we can sit here and talk about strategy and positions for hours, but the chances of you running into the same situation many times is going to be rare. Where like all 4 players on your team are standing in a certain spot, and all 4 players on the other team are standing on a certain spot. Like, that's just never. It's never going to play out the exact same every time. Like, somebody's going to have nades in a situation they might not in a different situation. Like, there's going to be 2 guys in elevator, 2 guys in gold in this situation, but maybe 3 guys in elevator, 1 guy in gold in the next. Like, it's all about just communicating every single game and getting the best information and trying to make the best play off of the information you're getting and giving.
Right, and when you're coaching Optic during the games, you're usually just looking at one of the screens. Obviously, I mean, it'd be ridiculous to be looking at 4.
Online. I am, yeah. It's possible for everybody to screen share, but like with people, we're not streaming our scrims at the moment just because Worlds is important enough.
Around the corner.
We're not streaming, but when 3 of us are streaming on our team, watching their streams is worthless because it's 2 or 3 seconds behind. So any information I would be saying is too late at that point. Like, that's how important it is for you to call out.
Do you use Observer at all?
No, because the issue is that I can see the other team too, so it's just not really.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to give unbiased information that I shouldn't have if I wasn't observing. So I always just screen share with Brad. APG is kind of always kind of that glue guy for us, so he's always in the fight, like always playing objective. I get a lot of information from his screen in particular, so it works out. Fine, and obviously I'm not going hard as fuck every single night at scrims. A lot of nights I'm just timing weapons and power ups for him and calling that shit out and focusing on numbers to just be that consistent voice there. They don't have to worry about times and shit. I'll be that guy.
Is equipment 90 seconds?
I think thrust is 45, as well as grapple. I think, but I could be wrong on that. I don't time equipment, honestly. It's one of those things, like if I see it up on one of their screens, I'll call it out, like, our thrust is up on Aquarius, their thrust is up, but I'm not timing that individually because it's almost impossible for me to track. When the other team picks it up, unless somebody on our team says they picked it up, right when they do, like I might miss it. I'm scanning 4 screens, so it's hard to it's hard for me to track that. And maybe there's coaches out there that do it, but to me that's more like on the players. They just need to be on top of controlling thrusts, controlling shocks and shit. So we just need to be making sure we're A, controlling the side of the map that they're spawning on, and B, just making sure we're making that extra effort to get them, whatever it is, thrust, shocks, spikes, that sort of thing.
I think you're a leader right now, Lunch, so if you want to just run it on open, go for it.
Okay, yep. Actually it says I'm not leader, so maybe you are.
It says you are.
Yeah, you might have to back out all the way. Yeah.
Promote somebody.
Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna start it and I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Same here, actually.
You see, a lot of what I said makes sense, bro. A lot of it makes sense, though. It's all individual gameplay.
Yeah, well, it's all recorded, so we can run it back as soon as. If you want to run through it, obviously put it on like 2.0 speed if you have time. You know.
Yeah,
Kinda, it's little things like that. I mean, it's not really what's the word? It's not. I mean, a lot of that's general information we kind of already know, but at the end of the day, it's the foundational information that makes the biggest difference if it's not honed on, you know? I mean, a lot of people, like, that's why I kind of try not to say it when we play, but I do it too. Everybody fucking does it. Everybody likes to chat,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's the fact if you want to win or not, and if you're actually trying to improve as a player. That's why I call it out every time. And personally, if people get butthurt about it or they don't care about it, then realistically, that's why honestly I don't really play with a lot of people, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to win.
That.
You know what I mean? Like either whether I'm trying to go
100%.
pro or not, I'm just trying to win and get better at the game. You know what I mean? So if people aren't
respect
willing
that.
to take that open criticism part of it or understand the actual way of playing the game, there's really no point of me playing with that individual personally, because it's useless to my play style, and I'm not gonna waste my time and matches.
I
on
always
this game.
value your input. You know what I mean? If I'm like fucking up and you see it, like tell me. You know what I mean? So I can change it.
No, I usually like giving it, even if people don't like to hear it, and that's why. Like I said, like that's why usually I don't really play with certain people, because you know, like it's cool to play, you know, like pubs every so often, but if you're really trying to grind this game and actually get better, then you can't play with those people that have that mentality of like, oh, you know, I fucked up or whatever. Like, nah, bro, like it's like really like, because you catch up on it. Like I know how Clutch plays. I know how he plays really well, so I know how to rat his ass all the time because I know how he plays. So that's what I'm saying. Like if I play enough with people, like I'm already at the point where I've already observed them. I know who I can play with more and others, to where it's much more beneficial, to where my callouts are more beneficial to them and to me. You know what I mean?
Playing against Carmea.
That's a good tough one here. Yeah, a lot of it too is just how you approach it. Like if you're coming at somebody's throat, like immediately after they made a mistake, it's probably not going to go well. So it's like, you know, critiquing is great, and you want to definitely do that. It's just like, you know, making sure you're doing
like
it
a positive, like
yeah. I would always say, like, you know, use the words like we, or you know, we need to be doing this better. Even if I just knew it was one player that was making that mistake, it's like it usually goes much better.
They're going commando up high.
Yeah, you guys
All right, I'm looking purple.
Yeah, there's one top balcony.
No one's purple. I've
really
shot.
red. Carmeo's
One back
red.
base.
Top stairs right now.
Absolutely red alley.
One shot commando.
Rockets are still up front C
right
now.
I'm trying to watch tires right now.
You gotta push your planners.
I got one. There's one more bottom. He's going laundry.
I'm throwing nades. He's going your heaven. He's going your heaven right now. He's throwing
Laundry's heaven.
Another one heaven and one shot and there you go. Get him. There's another one there with you.
No one's still here.
There's two over there.
I'm here.
Top A and then PD.
I got two of them. Two dead right now.
Okay, right now, one shot. I killed one.
There's spawning back C. Watch your
Right
driver.
here. This guy has rockets going at the tires.
Behind you, driver.
He's two shots.
They're gonna be market.
Yeah,
They're gonna be market
driveway,
probably.
B-rail.
One's purple stairs, one shot.
Monkey, hold up.
Yeah, he's absolute. There's two guys. One shot, purple stairs still.
I hit him.
Straight.
Nice.
I got
I'm
him.
looking.
He's full shield now. He's got a light
Purple
rifle.
stairs. Yeah, he's one. One purple.
One at B stairs, yeah.
B stairs right now. B stairs.
Going for a second with drop shield.
I'm watching driveway.
Two
Driveway.
driveway.
One shot. I'm going red.
I'm trying to help your heaven right now.
This guy here, one shot front air. Got him.
Nice.
They're gonna be watching your laundry.
Alright, two dead. Going two. Make sure we're playing towards ball here. We want
Yeah, one's a shotgun and tires. Shotgun and tires.
I heard.
He's dead. He
here
jumped out front A. He just went front A. Wait, he had shotgun front A.
I'm trying to watch.
I'm playing
Cross
main
ATM. Cross ATM.
I'm playing bottom C.
One shot PD. One shot PD.
I'm looking PD.
I'm at your
Good call.
Ball's
spikes.
very weak.
ATM.
He's one shot planners. One shot planners with shotguns.
He's at
He's going
bottom
here,
C steps.
PD.
He's going shotgun right now. Behind you, Box.
Yeah, there's 2 guys there.
There's another one at shotgun. Watch out.
One shot PD.
Rockets are up. Rockets are up.
I got 2 of them.
I'm watching rockets right now.
Another one's
Two
on
down.
me
Two
somewhere.
down. Two down.
They went
I'm
laundry.
trying to
They
get
went
to you.
laundry.
I'm
They
trying
went
to get
laundry with it.
to you. Yeah, one laundry.
Yeah, I got rocketed.
Yeah, he's dead. He last
Alright,
rocket. He's in tires.
Make sure we're playing harder for the weapons and the ball. We just gotta play around the weapons and the ball.
One shot in the
You
tires.
guys
shot
are
laundry.
PD.
One shot laundry.
Two PD. I got one.
Body
He's at
group.
shotgun. He's at shotty. He's at shotty.
One shot I got
Tires
one.
one shot. Tires one shot.
I'm trying to
Alright,
look.
2 dead. Purple again with what, soccer, or maybe he doesn't actually.
Yeah.
One in tires
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
got soccer
Go
purple.
purple.
I'm trying
You gotta
to
go
push
with
that
the
angle.
tires.
I'm trying to push that angle.
I'm pushing bottom mid. I'm pushing bottom mid. I don't see anybody. Somebody's at
Purple
tires right
dead,
now.
purple dead.
Tires is one, maybe 2.
Trying to look. One's at
I'm
rail. You
rotating.
guys rail. Yeah, rotate purple if you
Ooh,
can.
2-piece street. 2-piece street. 2-piece street looking.
We're getting ball time. We can still live here.
I got one front A.
Back
Shotgun's
A.
up. Shotgun's up.
One's pushing me
Yeah,
from bottom
front A
tires.
right now.
One shot in tires. One shot in tires right now. He's popping. He's looking
Okay.
at. He's on laundry. He's there. Easy. Nice shit.
Shotgun's up. He might have shotgun.
One shot in ITM. Right there. Just put that.
Laundry. Laundry back to tires.
Alright, play towards ball here. We do not need to play market. Ball is down purple. Just play towards purple and mid.
I'm right behind you, Space.
Watching.
I
Two back head.
Yeah.
One point Terry. Green gen. Point green gen.
I'm one shot. There's a guy
I hear
flowers.
that. I'm
You're
here.
looking at me back A.
He's one shot at ATM.
He's one shot
Later.
ATM.
Hey,
I
we
got
got
one.
him. Another one. Got the other one. I'm about to die.
Two
I'm
dead,
one
two dead.
shot.
Play hard for ball here.
Yeah.
Two
I'm
dead.
one shot. I'm gonna push right now.
Look back to
One
tires.
Heaven very weak.
He went
He's
PD.
planners
weak,
2
quite
shots.
weak, guys.
Planners 2 shots.
Yeah, he got me.
PD. Blue.
I got
Go
you.
caution.
Make sure we kill this last guy. We gotta hunt this guy down. Is he in PD or?
No, he's
Yeah,
at driveway.
they're
Driveway
pushing.
Driveway right now.
Alright, he looks
I
market
got
or
him.
something.
I got him.
Nice.
Tires.
I'm getting shot for tires.
I got heaven.
He's one tap. He's
One shot in
He's one tap.
tires.
He's on tires. Yeah.
Top net.
And then
One,
he's
one.
cafe,
I'll stop
cafe.
playing when I get my health back.
One's top main
Look,
ramp.
I'm looking at your
side.
tires. I'm looking at your tires.
Back at A.
Hey, watch out. He's
Back
there's
at
a
A.
guy at tires.
Yeah, rockets are coming, guys. Make sure we play for rockets.
One shot at fucking.
Purple.
Damn it. I messed up.
Absolute purple hall.
Cafe.
There's
Cafe.
another one in
right.
tires. Another one in tires. You just jumped
Yeah,
that. That's the guy.
Internet
Bottom
absolute.
A. Bottom A. Bottom A.
Man, I
Got
got
him.
needed out hardcore benches. Benches is still rockets.
Bottom A's one
Still
shot.
One shot.
Looking.
Nice. Let's make sure we play towards this ball
Rockets are in
now.
benches. Rockets are in benches.
Purple.
Alright, I
Alright,
hear
one's
that.
purple. One is purple as well.
B-rolls. B-rolls.
Absolute
Got
dead.
him.
I didn't see the rocket.
I got rocks. I got rocks.
Rail again. Rail again.
1-on-1.
See stairs. See
Rockets.
stairs.
See stairs, bro.
Push.
Oh shit. Fuck. There's
Make
one in commando. One
Up
shot.
on me.
I hear that. I'm gonna go.
He's absolute
Trying to live
commando.
right now.
He's gonna
Commando dead.
I got ball guy.
That's 3
Top C,
dead.
top
2
C,
dead.
bro.
Absolute.
Last one's bottom. There.
Got him.
Nice.
Two dead.
Nice. I got
C
you
street.
up there.
C street coming. C stairs. C
I
stairs
got
weak.
baited out.
C stairs weak. C stairs top C weak.
I'm looking.
He's IV somewhere.
Make sure we're rotating this ball depending on the
Yeah,
information.
rotate to B.
Yeah.
I'm at B right now.
I'm rotating right now.
I'm looking at. There's
I
one in
spawned
tires.
P.
I got shotgun. I got shotgun.
There's 2 in tires.
I know the tires.
There's 2 in tires. Yep.
Behind me.
There's another one in tires.
I'm trying to get to you.
B pillars.
There's 2
B
down. 2 on
pillars.
2 right now. 2 on 2 right now.
Driveway.
I couldn't.
You're last,
I had
you're
to
last
reach
up.
the-
Yeah, I'm fucked. Absolutely. There's 2 guys there. Mark it.
I hear that.
Alright, make sure we're playing towards ball here. We do not need to go purple. Ball is down. Mark it.
Yeah, I'm here
Yeah,
by
they're coming here.
myself.
Spawners right now. They're coming here. Spawners. B stairs right now.
Red room, possibly.
Trying to look
One
your
on
beat.
Red room right there.
Yeah, he's one.
I have shotgun.
I'm pushing up. I have stalker.
Yeah, I'm going main ramp.
Where that?
One. There's another.
There's 2 in there.
Two in
There's
arcade. Two in
2.
arcade. Two in arcade.
We only have a minute left, guys.
Yep. They have a shotty on me.
2 shots and shotties.
2 shots flowers.
One shot arcade and then B pillars. Damn.
Yeah, we're gonna play game time here, so we gotta play aggressive towards ball.
B rails. B rails.
I have help. It's 1 shot absolute. Dead.
He's
We got a
dead.
pick here.
I'm coming.
Rockets
You're not
survive.
playing
Rockets survive.
2 dead.
I
2
got
dead.
another.
Got a
Yeah,
ball
numbers
right
right
here. Is 1 shot on me.
There's
Planners.
one.
I was one
Very
shot
weak
though. He's
flowers.
right in the corner.
We got
There's
20
two.
seconds for ball here. I'm here with you, Clutch.
Staying alive.
Gotta be
Another laundry.
Main ramp. 2 dead if we kill that guy.
Fucking bitch.
We gotta go
One
for
shot,
ball.
top
There's
eight,
10
top eight.
seconds left. Rotate ball away if you can.
Yeah.
Probably need to go mark it.
Yeah.
They're bottom C right now.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
got
yeah,
one. I got one. I
yeah.
traded. 2 left.
Weak on ball.
PD wall.
Yeah, the
PD wall
PD
now.
on me.
PD wall. Yep. We got 3
He's
seconds.
absolute.
3 seconds. Grab the ball. Grab the ball.
Yeah, you have to go main. We just gotta pick it up immediately when he dies. We gotta go straight to the ball.
There's two bottom eight, two bottom eight.
Bottom eight is one.
Keep on
Tires
ball,
right
guys.
now,
We gotta
one
be
shot.
ready. Do not run ball away to us. We need help on ball, guys. Nice. Get it, pick it.
Fucking rowdy.
Yeah, we definitely gotta make sure we're playing better towards the oddball. Like, we're just slow to get to it a lot. If ball is on one side of the map, we do not want to go to the other side. Make sure we're playing straight towards ball. I'm looking rocket.
I'm gonna grab stock.
I'm going straight B rail.
Top A right now. Top A right now. Looking.
Yeah, they look like they're pushing Shotty.
They're looking piece for you.
I'm looking.
Take green. Yeah, rockets.
Yeah, they're PC.
He's dead.
Watch out blue gem. Watch out blue gem.
Purple.
I'm pushing back. I'm pushing back.
Nice, two dead.
Never kill blue gem.
Last guy's a shotgun. Last guy's a shotgun with shotgun.
Laundry.
Main ramp. There's two guys alive.
That guy's got rockets. That guy's got rockets.
One shot shotgun.
That guy's got
Spawning front
rockets.
C.
Very weak shotty, guys. ATM.
Rockets is ATM. They're going to your ATM right now. They're going to your ATM right now.
Yeah, he's ATM still.
Back A.
Pushing forward.
I got two. I got two.
Back A laundry tires.
Yeah, let's call outs and more like what we're doing, where we're going type of shit.
Bottom A, bottom A.
Got you.
Looking A.
Killed him.
He's dead, he's dead.
Yeah, just try to keep us the ball.
With you. I'm back A, I'm back A.
Absolute painter, guys. We gotta kill this guy Jen.
Yeah.
One shot, absolute.
One shot real quick.
Try and get angles in the middle of that.
Arcade, one shot.
Absolute still. Still in arcade, two.
I got arcade.
Three, last guy.
I got two.
Me, last guy. Find
I got ball.
Main
Yeah,
room.
yes, they're on tire gen.
I'm one. I'm in PD.
Yeah, he did PD now. Yeah, he just walked
Yes,
down. One shot.
I got PD.
Make sure.
He's gonna be looking your cafe maybe.
Make sure we slow the comms when we have heavy numbers. We're
Alright,
trying
B pillars, B pillars.
Got you.
and live. I'm looking market with you.
I spawned
Nice.
at bottom
They're
C.
A.
I'm rotating to your
they're
thrust.
A.
I'm rotating to your thrust right now.
I got one. Behind me is market.
You on driveway. You on
There's
driveway.
two red way.
I have to help the market in a second.
One shot
One
ball.
shot. He's one shot with ball.
Behind me as well.
He's one.
That's three dead. That's three
Behind me
dead.
and market. Last guy, he's on shoddy.
They're shooting.
Get ball time. We need to get ball time and run away from him.
I'm gonna rotate it to C. I'm gonna rotate
You
it
can
to
sit in
C.
red room. Just sit in red room for a second.
Okay, got you.
Just get information.
I'm watching heaven
Yeah,
right now. Two plants.
Right back here.
Main rip, one shot, guys.
C-Ram, two tap.
Yeah.
I'm going for rockets real quick.
Pull up there, top Ivy.
One bottom
Yeah,
team.
I'm in shotgun.
One shot bottom sub.
I spawn
Absolute
bottom
sub. I
mid.
need help. Flash.
Oh, they threw. They had shotgun. In Ivy.
Front sub, he's gonna be trash.
Rockets in Ivy.
I'm getting out. And market on me. Yeah, we gotta stick together there. We're not splitting up.
Yeah.
Three guys
on sub. Three guys
One shot. Carmi is on B.
Three guys were in sub and one
I
was
hit
cut.
one.
Alright, I'm here with you, Clutch.
Yeah.
There's two here in Ivy.
Carmi is two to your left behind you. Monkey.
Three top C.
One shot, top Ivy, there's two guys there.
Yeah, there's one shot.
B-stairs B-row.
And bottom sub.
Yeah, we got shot from B row.
Bottom sub as well.
Nice kill.
I got B-stairs dead.
Three up.
I have open sub. I'm getting shot.
I'm here with you, Lunch.
I'm not sure where. I'm absolutely
He's got
hiding.
shotgun, dude.
I got another.
Top C.
Alright, two of us are in here.
One
Make sure we
shot.
clutch this
I just
together.
spawned up with you. Coming up
He's
back
weak,
to
he's
back
weak.
to
Yeah.
Absolute C stairs, last guy. And main ramp now. They're on main ramp. We never killed C stairs. He's somewhere around us.
I can. I got
Looking for him.
up on main ramp.
Bottom mid, and ATM. Yeah, C stairs is there. He's going up. He's dead. Yep.
Alright. Well, this sounds
They're coming your
Chasing
C-Ram.
me,
They're coming your
market.
C-Ram.
Yeah.
Chasing me.
I'm in here, but
Top Ivy with nudge.
I got one. I'm getting ball out. I'm just tossing
There's
ball
another
out.
coming.
C.
I'm absolute.
Thrust.
They're coming your Ivy right now.
Absolute backs up. Ivy, guys. Weak.
Well,
Ivy very weak. We need to kill this guy on top of us in Ivy. Two guys in there.
yep. There's another one at bottom C stairs.
Balls
One up
one.
mid. Fuck.
He's
One
one shot.
ATM.
He's one shot bench.
And
Just two
And then
ATM.
shotgun, dude. No.
What? That was weird.
Yeah.
there. I don't know how that stopped it, but
That
there's
was
two guys in
weird,
shoddy. You guys shoddy.
B-stairs.
Rockets gotta play for Rockets.
They're looking at me.
He's at laundry right now. He's in tires now.
ATM.
Close game.
Top C was
Tires
soccer.
is two, maybe one.
Yep. How much? I'll see if we can.
One shot.
Man, it's up top. He's up.
On Rockets, we get.
I got him.
Jump up, he's at Rockets again.
He's dead.
I'm cutting off ball right now.
Yeah, we need to push ball hard.
Shotgun.
He's
one
one.
tap,
He's
one
one.
tap.
Gonna be behind you. Gonna be behind you as well.
I'm looking at top C.
I got
ATM guy. ATM pushing up. ATM pushing up.
Yeah, two dead. Two
Okay,
dead.
back A.
Play your life, play your life.
Back A.
Play your life, I got you.
Stay aggressive on this. There's two dead still.
Yeah.
Top Top A and back A.
I'm going back A
I
hard.
got the guy back A. I got the guy back A.
Back A's one.
Let me
I
get
got
ball.
another.
I got ball. I got ball.
Two dead.
They're gonna be already on
They're
us.
coming planners, probably. Yeah, planners right now. Planners right now.
I'm looking to flip.
Planners weak. Planners weak.
Alright, there's a guy coming from here. From
Yeah, they're
shotgun.
gonna be
Purple.
Cafe.
There's another one.
There's
There's
another
another one.
coming. There's another seat.
Front A. There's gonna be two coming at you.
Dude,
Dip out of the three of
very
them.
weak.
There's three of them over there. At top A.
I know.
Nice. There's another one back there.
Purple.
Drop wall. Watch out. Yeah.
living
Shit, I
for a
fucking
Two on ball.
spawned.
Two on ball.
That's the top nest, guys.
I'm looking
That's
from
the
C.
one. We gotta kill this
spawn
guy.
C.
Only
Yeah,
one for a
nest.
second.
You gotta hunt this guy.
Laundry. Front A. Main ramp, one shot. Dead.
Man, laundry. He naded me out. Two top A. Two top A.
Heaven, one shot.
Heaven's dead.
Dead. I killed both of them.
Somebody get this ball.
Grab ball.
We have the ball.
Here, I
Two
got it.
dead,
two dead.
I'm at B.
Two
I'm at
up
B.
now. Two up now.
They're gonna be purple. They're gonna be purple.
I'm
are.
Rotating PD.
One shot.
One's
Purple.
here.
Main Street.
Another one's
nader.
here. Another one's purple. Look
Okay,
purple.
I'm gonna push
Coming
it.
to
Come
you
in
right
here.
now.
Take
There's a
come in
bottom
here.
C. There's a bottom C, guys. Switch out.
Two.
I got one. One shot at Kevin.
I'm getting it out of here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just
Yeah, there.
nice try.
The ball.
Alright, yeah, we just gotta slow the comms. There's so many comms that you guys are missing so much. Just try and slow the comms down a lot. We don't need to say so much. Just focus more on your.
Tires
All right,
laundry.
I'm here with you, Lunch.
Alright,
Heaven.
Rockets and top. Yeah.
They're gonna have a
Top
shot.
A. Top nest right now.
Carmiers and.
Hey, don't stop nest. He's very weak.
Halfway to victory.
I'm one.
Alright, I got one, but bottom nest as well. Rockets as well.
The ball.
He went green, Jan.
It's a close game.
Rockets, green gem.
Ball
There's
dropped.
two of us dead right now.
Enemy has the ball.
Tires.
Monkey by yourself.
Yeah, you're by yourself.
That was
Enemy
me.
has the ball.
They're in tires. Just try and live clutch. We cannot die. We gotta wait for them to spawn.
Carmiers one.
Absolute blue gen.
Yep.
Alright, we probably need to
Okay.
make a push.
Top A. Top A.
I got one.
Rockets and
Evan.
tires.
He's out of rockets. He
Heaven's
should be.
one.
Drop.
Ball guys,
Pillars,
big guys.
pillars.
I got two.
There's
Yeah, there's
pillars
one
and pillars coming your PD right now. PD.
Last
shotgun.
guy. I'm spawned up at your back A.
Got him.
Nice.
Ball is down. We need to go for this ball.
Hey,
I'm coming right now.
There's guys in
Somebody
PD
get
wall.
it. Yep. Make sure we get the kill. No one's in PD.
Tires.
B. Market.
He's in tires.
Come here with you.
One shot tires.
Very weak in PD as well.
There he is. You got him.
Three
down,
down.
Two down.
We have the ball.
Last guy's shooting at me. Make sure we get this ball as well, though. There's 20
I
seconds
spawned
left.
a B.
Dude, I'm getting crossed.
Back A.
There's only 18. You need to live. You need to try and live. We got one push here. looking at you.
And tires. Planners.
You got some tires. We have 5 seconds. We got to bum rush this ball somewhat. Somebody's got to try and pick it up. Yeah,
Tires weak.
And Main Street killed him.
Yeah, so that's like the comms are so all over the place. They're so confusing. Like we'll have 3 dead. There's 1 guy alive, and we're just like yelling callouts instead of. It should be silent when there's 3 dead, and we should only be talking about where the last guy alive is. But there's so much shit coming through.
Gotcha.
So you guys definitely got to work on comms, because it just makes everything so hectic that nobody, like, even at the end there, clutch, like you were by yourself, like tires and flowers getting surrounded. I spawned cafe there. Like you need to just immediately get to me. If you're the only guy there, like you need to be playing off where your spawners are, but you couldn't even hear me because like we were.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know shit. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
that was
So
fucking wild.
there's just way too much. There's way too many call outs coming through. Like
Gotcha.
nobody can hear anything.
And speaking for myself, like I just like all this information is good, but like I just gotta like get better. You know what I mean? I'm just like not at the level.
Yeah. Well, dude,
competing, so that's just where I'm at. Yeah.
If I'm having trouble digesting the call outs, there's no way you guys aren't. 'Cause, I'm used to some pretty hectic cons, but those were really hectic. It's like again, it's just like it's about focusing on what's most important. Like when we have heavy numbers, the only thing that needs to be talked about is who's getting oddball and where the last guys alive are. That's it.
I see what you're saying.
Like because if there's any other clutter, somebody's not going for oddball, and that last guy alive is milking for way too long. And then they're already pushed up on us. So that's why it feels so chaotic, because we're not killing the last guys alive fast enough, and then the spawners are already on top of us shooting us in the ass. And the ball guy we had some decent rotations that second round, especially when they were hit purple. So one of you guys rotated the ball into PD. They ended up coming market to kill you, but that was a good thought behind it. But yeah, in general, it's the comms just have to be much cleaner, concise, especially when we get numbers. There was good comms coming through about like when you were pushing towards a teammate, when I had help, and that type of stuff. So that's good. But There's just way too many like one shot here, one shot there, screaming call outs and shit. And
Right. And that's just instinct, right? Like
it is. And that's why I've harped on comms the whole time, because that's hard to change.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of players do that their entire career, and or a lot of players can't even don't talk while they're shooting. Like they can't focus on shooting and calling out at the same time. So like those are just all like little things that you got to start working on, like actually consciously thinking about it every game you're playing if you're going to call it, if you're calling out and whatnot. It's definitely super important.
Are Worlds not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that?
Yeah, they're the weekend after.
Yeah.
So they'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, dude, you guys got a pretty sweet pool.
Yeah, it's finally we have.
Yeah, right. I know.
We got a hard pool every single event except for this one.
What are your guys' thoughts after winning that? After winning LAN, how do you see it? How do you see all the other teams now compared to how you guys didn't really drop a series like dominant?
I think our team's been the best for a while. Unfortunately, we didn't clutch up the event before that in Kansas City, but I mean Sentinels beat us in an oddball game they shouldn't have won. That Streets oddball game we had in the bag. We didn't clutch up at the end, but if we won that, we probably win the tournament. We lost that series and then had to play Cloud9 right after in the losers finals and just were flat, but the whole tournament's different if we beat Sen.
All right, we got this. So remember what you said, guys. Just like don't scream. Just like
you just want to call out nice and easy. Like if you're having to yell a call out, the issue is once one person starts talking loud, everybody else feels like they have to talk loud just to get their shit heard. So it becomes a snowball effect, and it's the worst possible one that you can have. Again, like if you don't have clear, concise comms and know what the play needs that needs to be made is, like that's when mistakes are made. Let's focus on that this game. I'm gonna look Mark's side.
I'm going to
top A.
Make sure somebody looks Rockets.
One's looking bottom A right now.
I'm gonna go benches to Rock.
They're gonna be going balcony as well at some point.
C stairs. C stairs two C stairs.
Looking 2 Main Street. 2 Main Street. Rockets is on laundry. Rockets is on laundry.
One's at very weak.
One shooting is from behind you, man. I think I dropped on us. I didn't see that guy. I should have played a.
Alright, I'm here with you, David.
I'm heaven.
There's one.
They're not getting any time. They have a thrust. They have everything right now. We just need to live.
Planner's
both. That guy played left.
Planner's dead. One
Tires
tires.
on shot. That's 2 dead. Make sure we play for this hill now. I'm gonna get heavy.
Two of us, me and you.
Very weak in tires. 2 shots into him. Double back. Dead. Alright, push towards hill now.
In arcade.
Oh, throwing from the top.
Red room.
Balcony with Stalker.
I'm gonna play hill.
And drive left. You know drive
Bottom B stairs. Dead.
Balcony.
I'm coming behind him.
Balcony's done.
One shot down there.
Coming behind us.
Balcony dead. Balcony dead.
Behind us.
Watch behind us. Yep, they're gonna be here. I'm looking as well.
I'm one. I'm looking at the bottom B.
I have shotgun.
Yeah, just cover B space.
Yep. If you're ready to push, they're at Flowers. You got 2 shots into him.
One tires. One is super low. The tires.
Right.
He just dropped down to the bottom mid.
Absolute Flowers again. Absolute Flowers again. Alright, we need to get out of the hill here in a second. I'm gonna hop out.
Nobody's got right now. I spawned at. They're flank.
Behind us. Driveway.
PD.
Absolute.
Caution.
There's one at the
In red room. In red room.
Pushing you.
Alright, we don't need to desperate this fight. You need to stay locked, but you need to get out of there. Turn around and run away until we all spawn. Just 3 of us dead. They're all 4 alive.
I hit one arcade.
Alright, get ready to push. I'm gonna get heaven and get shots down. Just try and get ready to push.
Mid-ramp right now.
Alright, let's get on.
One shot in
Going. One dead.
Nice kill.
Laundry and
market.
Laundry behind you, clutch.
Red alley, 1 shot. We got 2 of them.
Yeah, I traded him. Yeah, bottom mid. He might be pushing B stairs.
Rockets are coming right now. It's fine, just focus on this hill. Let him have rockets, they're gonna have him. He's on cuts with him. He's a little weak.
This is 1.
He's weak. 2 weak coming up B stairs.
2 weak B stairs, yeah.
Alright, this still is 1 tick away. Just don't desperate for this. We need to get a kill. Stay alive until we spawn.
I spawn C. I spawn C.
Okay, get ready to flank clutch. You gotta try and live here until we push.
Got you, tell me when.
I'm here.
We're about ready to go. Get ready to go here, guys. You guys can nail it. Both very weak and hill clutch. On rail and 1 to tire.
One's pillars.
2 shots at planners. 2 shots at planners.
Just get this hill. Get this hill. Nice job, guys. Good push. Alright, we need
behind
to
us. Behind us.
Nice kill.
I got the guy B
I think
stairs.
C.
Okay,
one down.
Yeah, red
B
room. Red room.
stairs. B stairs.
Find us in red.
Oh, one at B rails.
I got the guy
I
red.
got
See
C
that?
stairs.
3 dead.
Another
3 dead.
Just go drive with me. Okay. Just try and play safe here. You're the only guy alive up.
Bottom A, 1 shot.
Back A Main Street.
There's a guy in C right now.
He's going your Main
I can hear him,
Street.
I'm getting commando. They're already commando with Shoddy. Very weak though.
Got him.
Nice kill, Clutch. Just try and live. We just need to live
Main
here.
Street.
We do not need any heal time.
Main
Alright,
Street
yeah,
commando.
now we can probably get some.
Commando
They're too dead.
T-stairs. They're coming
Get
to
that shotgun, get
T-stairs.
that shotgun.
Front C, front C. Front C is
Fuck yeah, top C,
Your
yeah,
top
top
C,
C,
your top C.
I got one. Another one's front
top
C.
C is 2 shots. Top C,
Ivy,
2 shots.
Ivy.
Absolute. Ivy stairs. There's one dead still.
Yeah, by yourself, yeah.
Alright, set up a push here. Say what we're doing. Say what we're doing.
Yeah, two bottom.
Alright,
They're looking
I'm
up
looking
around.
front C. I'm looking front C.
Alright.
Balcony at this point.
Weak back Ivy. Weak back Ivy.
Commando.
Commando one, I got him, I got commando, play your life.
Below me.
Top C stairs.
No one's commando. 2 shots and it's gonna be back
On
commando.
the fucking shot. Fucking
Alright.
dresser now.
I live up here. You might be able to get the purple stairs and just hide until we're
I
ready
just
to
got a
push.
perfect box. Come on.
What? I got crossed,
Coming
bro.
on. They're gonna get this hill probably. Let's try and get these rockets.
Rockets just spawned up. He's
Make him
probably
burn him. Yeah, make him burn him. He's on cuts with him probably.
Yeah, I'm right behind you, Lunch.
No, he's P Street.
Okay. I made it to Ivy, but you know I'm here.
One shot at that thing. Another one at your B stairs. 2 at your B stairs. 2 at B stairs, 1 to the
Yeah,
top.
benches.
Rotate to the next
That's all I
area.
got sub, yeah. Hill's moving to us.
Purple,
Just try and live
purple,
here.
purple.
We need to keep our shields. Keep our shields. They're gonna be pushing us.
Rockets at PD wall.
They're out of rockets, I think.
Yeah, he.
I hit the guy. One half.
Kevin, very weak, guys. I got one.
Hologram for the weak too. Hologram for
Choked
the
on
weak.
that.
Nice.
2 down,
Two
2
dead.
on 2, 2 on 2.
Don't worry about Hill.
Top
They're
A.
coming
Back A, back
Top
A.
A. I'm watching
No,
this cross
back
ATM.
is absolute dead. I got back head.
Another
Fire
coming
it,
top A
fire it.
right now. Another coming top A right now. Tire gen, green gen.
Very weak back.
Two
Back
gen.
Back A as well.
I mean, top A, top A.
One.
He just went down to drop ball. Might be fine.
Cap A.
There's another one.
Nice help.
Yeah, back here. Back. Yeah, I got 3 of them.
B pillars, 1 shot.
I'm looking pillars here.
I got shot. I
Yeah,
spawned
already
a shot. He's 1 shot in
2 guys are there.
I got them both.
Alright, yeah,
3
2
dead.
dead. 3,
Where's
yeah.
last guy?
Let's mark it. We need to get over to watch our hill guy market side. They're gonna push the market.
I am.
probably.
Yeah, I
here.
got shotgun. I'm pushing
I'm
tires.
here. I can watch here. And I can watch bottom.
Alright, I'm watching purple. 2 guys front sub. They're pushing purple stairs and cuts.
Yeah,
Last
yeah, I
2.
see it.
I hear that. I hear
I'm
that.
watching here. I'm watching here.
We can be aggressive on this if we want. There's 2 dead still. Absolute purple.
Like,
Nice,
be
nice,
aggressive like
nice.
that. Are you talking
Nice
about how
cap.
you want to be aggressive, or you're just saying shoot this?
Oh, if it's a 4-on-2 there, we can be aggressive on those last 2 guys alive. We were just
Main Street going P stairs. P stairs.
I know.
2 purple, 2
Yep,
purple.
they're both a little weak.
Yeah, I'm playing back hollow. A little bit.
They're gonna be
Yeah,
at 18.
Planner's one.
ATM.
Planner's one.
I died. 2 of it.
I
Yeah,
got
2 of
one
it
more.
dead. Don't worry about Hill. Don't worry about Hill.
Worry about your life, your last life.
Nice shot. 3
3
dead.
dead.
Last
We
guy.
can get
Look.
rockets.
Yeah.
Last guy A. So.
He just grabbed
He's on
him.
rocket. He's going ATM.
Yeah, he just grabbed him.
We need to
I'm
slow
not
play
gonna
this.
do
We got
this.
1 rocket left. 1 shot rail.
I'm trying to.
I'm here with you.
He might die.
Bottom A.
Yeah, I got
I
1.
think he's rotated towards
At Nest as well. At Nest. 2 guys.
I'm 1.
I'm with you here, Space.
Nest is weak. Nest
Yep.
is weak.
I'm gonna get heaven. Just
Shotgun snipe.
Hey, you can
Shotgun
Hey,
box.
Tito.
Shotgun box.
Oh, no, don't
You guys
go.
We got a good
Shotgun
pinch here.
box sweet.
yeah. We need to go, guys. They're
Oh,
all
he
weak.
had
Very weak.
he had rockets. He
Great,
fucking
bro.
rockets. 2 shots
Okay.
at bottom C.
He's gonna be your ATM spawn at this point.
Absolute with Shoddy and
Go for
Soccer
by
now.
yourself.
Nice
I
pick.
got a
Alright.
standoff one.
Try and get. We do not want to go market here. We do not want to go market. Try and play mid
I
and
got this one.
purple.
I got naded out.
Okay. Try and live. On main ramp, guys.
Oh, yeah,
We
he's
can
on
do
one.
it. We can do
One.
it. Okay.
Top A, ATM. Nice kill.
Looking
Two
ATM.
left. Bottom mid. Last guy's in the hill too.
Bottom
Mid
mid.
ATM.
Two guys
ATM
with
weak.
you, though. There's gonna be 2 guys there.
I got 1.
No one's behind you. Just keep bum rushing this hill if we can. They're close on us. So
One shot, 2 stairs. Got him.
nice
Got shot
on
for
rail.
B-rolls,
Another
B-rolls.
main
B
entrance.
rail. We have numbers.
Good shot, absolute. B-rail.
You don't have to.
Yeah, they're close on this hill. We might have to give this.
The shotgun right there.
Nice kills.
Oh
wow.
There's another one. I
One
thought
shot. I got both of them.
Nice. I'm trying to get.
3 dead.
Oh, he's
3 dead.
behind me. He was the last guy. See, we need to call that out.
Yeah,
One shot. He has shotgun.
Let's
Got
go
him.
that time.
3 dead. 3 dead.
I
We can
spawned a
set up.
commando.
Kill again.
They had drop blocks.
I'm here.
Top nest.
No one's here. Cafe on me. A little weak.
Oh, fuck.
Body's down there. 2 dead. Behind us mid somewhere. ATM maybe.
Bottom A. He's one. He's one.
Dead.
Last guy where?
I don't know where the last
ATM,
is. I'm
ATM,
charging.
benches.
Rockets up in 6.
I'll push
Yeah,
him.
we
I'll
can
push
be
him.
aggressive on this. Somebody stay ill though.
Front C. ATM. Watch you guys now.
Yeah, we need help rockets here. They're gonna be on them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, push that.
Dead.
They have rockets mid-map. Nice. 2 dead.
He's one shot.
Get to hill quickly. Oh shit, you're lagging out.
My game's froze, yeah. My thing's on that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Alright, let's just give this.
Fucking game, dude.
That was better with the comms though.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little
Dude,
Dude, I was doing well. Dude.
Yeah, the thing with that though is like, I'm having to say to slow them down and like focus on that, so just make sure that, you know, if I'm not here, you're still doing that. Like slow the comms down as soon as we get, as soon as we get heavy numbers, the comms just need to be about where the last guy alive is. So that way we can flash off. Yeah.
That never happens to me too, dude. But yeah, no, I feel like we did do better.
Yeah, it was much better this game for sure.
We could have won.
I mean, we would have capped that hill for sure. There was only one guy alive when you were lagging out. We would have killed him for sure.
Yeah, I think that one coordinated push into the first hill is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like that. Again, it's like I was having to set those up most of the time, but that's fine. Like as long as you guys are listening, and one of you needs to be doing that. If I'm not here, like what are we doing? Where are we pushing? Make sure everybody's saying it so you know where you should be filling in.
Heroes B stairs.
Can someone send me an invite?
Yeah.
We're still in this game.
Yeah, we're just waiting.
You guys are.
Yeah, just let them win. We're not gonna be able to win this. 3-4.
Is that super frustrating with y'all? Like, you know, when you're on like a stage and someone lags out, like, how do you recoup from that?
It's definitely checking, especially if we have a lead. It's obviously the game. You know, sometimes the game might be over and somebody lags out and they get a free chance at, you know, coming back. But it's just part of it. It's obviously out of everybody's control. The game just, you know, pretty fucking broken, unfortunately, with the crash.
Yeah,
and stuff. So there's no avoiding it. So that's just kind of the way I look at it. It's again, that's kind of my job to make sure everybody's not getting checked by it and yeah, focusing up for the next game, the replay.
I wish we could replay that one, honestly. It would have been dope.
Yeah, we probably had that game, honestly, but it's definitely that was better. Again, that's what you're looking for at this point, is seeing these like small improvements. At, you know, every game. If we choke a game or something the game before, we talk about it. Hopefully, we can, you know, you can fix it the next game so it doesn't happen again. Kind of the whole idea of practicing and trying to get better.
Okay, so real quick, Julio, and he has another set of 4 people. So I think if, how did you want to do the coach thing? Kind of like when you're doing optics. So if there's 4 of us,
if you guys want to play matchmaking, someone wants a screen share, I'm down to coach a game or 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about like scrims.
But
Dude, that's gonna be a tough game.
I mean, that depends on when you're scrimming. That I guess if it's, I mean, if you scrim around this time on a Sunday or something, I could coach for a couple games.
Oh yeah.
If you had a 4v4 going or something.
Oh yeah, like what we could do is let me see.
Right now, it's probably not going to work because we only got like 15-20 minutes left, and the schedule.
Yeah, let's just do one more game. Play with them later.
Okay, go for it. Sounds good.
I appreciate all the information, though, man. For sure.
Yeah, dude, I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
It's
I mean,
more
the kids
of now
that were
just definitely communicating it across us as we play together, and
Yeah,
if we're actually trying to make a team together.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, I mean, I don't know how it feels for you guys, but like the first game was hectic as fuck for me. I had no idea what anybody was saying.
Bro.
It was just so much.
Yeah.
But so like, if that's how it always feels, and that obviously that's that will be the biggest hurdle you guys have to cross, because it's all 3 of you doing it. It's not just one of you. You know, all 3 of you are yelling your call outs and yelling one shots and all that. So it's something that all 3 of you have to make a conscious effort on not doing. You know, because a lot of times too, it's like a lot of the times that you're calling out are kills that you're probably going to get, and you're calling them out just in case you don't. But like that information is also kind of worthless. If you're calling out a guy that you're fighting and you're going to get that kill, that's information you do not need to say. You shouldn't be saying it. Honestly, you should just get that kill, and then, you know, say what the numbers are. Say it's 4 on 3 because you just got the kill. Like, and you guys are definitely doing that a lot as well.
The only comms that it should be is I'm fighting this person here, and that's it, right? The only time
I don't want to say you don't want to call guys out, because obviously, like, I want to know where people are at on the map. But if it's in a fight that you think you're gonna get, you don't need to call it out. Like, if you have first shot or 2 on somebody and you're still yelling that, you know, there's a 1 shot on me, like, it's just not. It's pointless information because you're gonna get the kill anyways. I guess is the main thing. Gotcha. And at the end of the day, like, cluttered comms are detrimental, because you should be making all your plays based on information. So like, if you can't understand what your teammates are saying or focus on the right thing, like, it's going to make you make bad plays too.
So on this one though, are we gonna like, if possible, try to hold that AC and trap a market?
I mean, yeah. If the scenario
Yeah.
arises and somebody calls it, then yeah, you just know at that point you're not pushing B. You're letting them spawn there and surrounding.
Top A, two of them, top A, two of them. Green
Three
jump,
guys
green
focus on
jump.
rockets. I'm dead. They're
I
top
don't see
net,
anyone
and then
B.
you guys were on main ramp. They're gonna be there.
We got
Yep. No
one
one's
down, one
down.
down. Going for rockets, one.
Nice. Felt that guy.
ATM,
Can ATM
one
one
shot.
shot.
Oh, you got stuck. Holy shit. Wow. That was,
ATM dead. I have rockets.
wow. Didn't see you right now, nice.
I got the rocket off, but I don't think it counted.
They're coming on you.
Yeah, they have one rocket here. He's out of rockets now. Just play towards A.
One's running B
Yeah.
right now.
They probably have a stalker. Just make sure you're watching for the cross.
Two. Top C.
He's right here.
Yeah, I'm rotating
Top
back.
C.
I'm
We
rotating back.
going back, Ivy.
We don't have to play for B here. We can play purple stairs and
I'm
wall.
here with you.
Hey, Monkey, you by yourself over there?
Yeah.
Top C. Top C.
I'm
Top
getting
C
Yeah,
back,
he's dead,
Ivy.
he's dead, he's dead. Bottom C, bottom C, bottom C.
Top C is gonna be one.
They're looking to be
Back.
pillars. They're looking to
I'm
be
coming
pillars.
from
Be
around the
reals.
corner.
Alright,
They're
I'm
going
taking
to
C.
driveway.
I need help driveway. We need,
I'm here.
I need a heads on me. He might be
Wait, come out, he went coming out right now.
Yep.
One shot. Dead. Nice help.
Alright, let's
Two
play
dead.
back for B. Play back for B.
Okay, I'm rotating to
They're gonna be
I'm
going
good.
for A.
Keep
They're already in A.
I'm rotating to
Nothing's hiding around the corner
Yeah,
somewhere.
he's here. He's here on me. Very weak.
You tires now?
Dead.
Tires one.
Two guys purple. Two more guys purple. We're missing
I
one, I
get
think. Yeah, he's on main
Going Main
ramp.
Street, going tire gen. Tire
Watch
gen.
out,
We just
hey.
need to lift that. We need to
Yeah,
lift. We
turn
need
it
to keep
up
our
a little
shield.
bit.
We don't need to engage
Beast
here.
is-
Oh,
Beast
yeah,
is
Beast
one
is-
shot.
Yeah, Beast is one shot.
Yeah, that's a situation there that you guys need to be playing much safer. We have a 2-cap there. You don't really want to be looking for fights. We want them to
I
make
was
sure
trying
to
to
do
just
that.
hold D.
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta be play safer there. You and Clutch need to
Right.
work together better. Alright, we need to play for A here probably. We're spawning
I'm
B.
here. I'm here. This
He's
one
over
bottom
here.
man.
Absolutely bottom nest. He's gonna go top
Bottom
nest.
Dead.
Nice. Very weak in flowers. Absolute flowers, and then one's a cut.
Rockets up right now on E.
One's
Rockets up right
PD.
now on E.
One's PD.
Alright, we're playing purple here, so we don't really want to go B. Bottom
Bench
main
is one,
ramp.
bench is one, got him.
Get into
Yeah,
get in.
nice.
One's up.
B
Rockets
stairs,
up.
There's
B
two coming
stairs.
B stairs now.
Behind
B stairs.
Yeah, there's fuck. 3 guys there. Trying to live. They're gonna push me purple. One's already in bottom sub. Alright. We need to play for B here.
I'm here on BS spawn. There's one tires.
Pushing from us right now.
Nice well.
Look at it. Oh, they have rockets.
Commando,
Yeah,
Commando going your driveway.
Yeah, they just got us on a bad spawn cycle right now. I'm gonna wait for Shoddy. I'm playing towards A.
Alright. I'm here with you.
Try and get eyes over here.
Look,
Here with you,
clowners. Yeah.
Already in PD. I'm gonna probably die.
Back to
We made it out.
Absolutely back
Coming
C.
to cafe.
Back A. Absolutely back A. Yeah, we just need kills, man. We just
Yeah.
on the bad spawn cycle.
you. Zero.
One shot back
Zero.
there.
We gotta force teamwork here.
Okay, they're gonna be coming B stairs right now. I'm one.
Look.
In red room now.
I got the guy back A. I got the guy
These
back
are
A.
weak. Alright, we
Alright,
need
let's
to
finish the cap here.
Agent,
No,
agent,
yeah, we
agent.
kills. We
Agent.
cannot get
I'm buying
strongholds. We
time.
cannot get strongholds. We gotta get kills probably still. They're gonna keep collapsing on us. I spawn C with you.
Yeah, we're all let's see, let's see.
Yeah, you need to get out of it.
I'm back
Yeah.
A. I
Easy
got back
tires,
A.
tires.
Alright, we need to play to B now.
They're pushing me. They're pushing me at this point.
Heaven,
They need
heaven,
me
one
out.
shot.
Heaven.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah,
Lunch.
they're pushing
Got arcade.
Red room.
Absolute arcade.
I'll push that red room guy.
Red room.
I got one.
Nice, two dead.
That's
Me
two.
too.
I mean, main.
Behind you guys.
Yeah, they're already purple. Already purple. They're gonna be in C. They're gonna be in
Yeah.
C.
I spawned A.
One's at B. B's 2 shots.
Yeah, we're on all 3 sides of the map right now.
2 caution.
One shot red room.
Okay, here.
Alright, I'm here. I'm gonna push out to
Yeah,
heaven.
we gotta be quick now. We're down by a lot. They're
B pillars, one
Flowers.
shot.
I'm looking.
He went B stairs.
I'll get Cuts guy. There's no one marking on me. I need
One
help
at C.
rail.
I'm gonna grab C. Yeah.
He's jumping
I
down.
have
on me, maybe.
shots.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing you. I'm seeing you here.
Hey,
I need to be
bottom C steps. Bottom C steps right now.
Alright, we need to play
On
for
rocks,
Rockets
on rocks.
as well. Where's he
He's
going?
going
Chasing me driveway. Chasing me driveway.
You guys on me,
Chasing
Cuts. You
driveway.
guys, he's out of rockets. He's out of rockets.
Driveway.
One shot
Step
ATM.
down, make them get in something, and then collapse on it if we can. They're in C. You can look at C.
I'll push
He's
you. Monkey, I'll
driveway.
push you.
Be
Monkey.
red. Red room.
He's
Red
in red.
room.
One shot red room. One shot red room.
On main ramp, weak guys. Very weak gen.
There's
Two
another
guys main
driveway.
ramp.
There's another driveway.
Another one
got
main
one.
ramp somewhere.
nice.
Three down,
Last
three
guy
down.
main ramp
Three
somewhere.
down.
He's gonna be Cuts or something.
He's
Yeah,
at
he's on driveway.
Yeah.
I'm pushing to B with you. Lunch.
Driveway. Red room.
Red
Red room.
three
Spawn.
dead
Red room.
there.
Spawn.
He's got thrust here. He's gonna kill me probably.
Be real. Coming right now. Be real.
Try and get reset.
Another one. There's two in there. There's one last one in there. I got two down.
B pillars, one shot.
He's low, 3 down.
3 dead. Last guy. We need to go for B.
Alright, I'm
going here.
He's at B stairs. Yeah, play. Oh,
Yep.
play life.
C round,
Driveway
probably
again,
C
we-
balcony.
Absolute driveway. There's 2 guys there.
I'm nading it.
One was absolute. Clutch your last guy. You need to try and keep your shields here.
I got 2.
He's at B rolls.
Keep getting to B, guys. We need to help him B.
I'm here. I'm watching your B rows.
He's in red room. I stuck him. Another driveway. Another
That's
driveway.
2 dead. That's 2 dead.
Walking
Top
clutch.
C, top C.
One shot red out.
Top
3
C
to
was stalker.
That's last guy then. That
Balcony,
was last guy.
balcony.
Just keep our shields here. They're gonna
Yeah,
all
I'm
spawn.
watching-
Somebody
I'm
can watch
watching here.
purple.
I'm looking
Watching
purple
here.
right now.
Help me
Already on
drive
cafe.
Alright, help me driveway.
Nice kill. Nice
One
kill.
more
Play that life. Play
ATM.
that life. Play that
ATM.
life. I'm pushing ATM. I'm
No one
pushing.
driveway.
One shot on each side.
3, last guy
Three
was
dead,
driveway.
three dead.
Need to get to B,
First
get to
last
B,
guy.
get to B, get to B. Next time we need to not bail on me B there. Somebody should stay there with me.
That's my bad.
You're good.
Two
They're-
low shots
I'm
in there.
taking C, they're in A as well.
One shot in there, yeah. They're 2 both low.
Two in
But
B.
watch out, they got their shields back.
Rocket, our main rep guys, I need help main rep.
Enemy
Red
team
room.
score.
We need to
I'm
take
gonna
C.
fish it.
I'm
Yeah. I got it.
gonna be there on you.
One shot, red room.
B stairs.
On rail.
I'm gonna push B.
B stairs weak.
Cut somewhere. Rockets rep as well. He's going for rockets right now. I need help.
I'm pushing him with you.
Absolute main rep. Absolute. I got him. No one's.
He's on.
What the fuck is this guy?
Bottom A.
Laundry,
B stairs,
absolute.
B stairs.
Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to just immediately take something and then try and fight for B probably. On rail, weak on cuts. Very weak
I'm
cuts.
pushing B right now.
I'm
She
here
dead.
with you, laundry.
B, Main Street going your laundry. Main Street going your laundry.
Push C if they get in it.
Nice call, nice call.
Laundry, no laundry carriage.
Top A, top A, top A, top A, and
Let's
you'll
push
probably
A.
push C or what? There's one dead, B, B
The one
stairs.
stairs. He's going your laundry.
B stairs still.
These stairs.
I'm gonna try and take
B
A
stairs
here.
dead. I'm
We can
getting
break
shot
this
from
back,
B
guys.
ramp.
We just need to live. Bottom cut's weak. And
He
one's
went
in
C ramp. He went C
caution
ramp.
or PD.
One C,
Yeah,
yeah,
caution.
PD.
Very weak PD on me.
Dead.
Nice. Alright, they're gonna get in C probably. They're gonna get in C.
Cafe.
We should be pushing.
One's there, one's there.
they're in A.
Hey, let's push A, push
I'm
A.
going A right now.
He's back,
Yeah,
he's back, he might have
hard.
shotgun, he might have shotgun.
They're shooting me back driveway
Alright,
already.
I'm gonna
turn to
touch
B
it.
now. Turn to B. We need to turn to B already.
One,
Already in it.
One tap.
I'm about to grab it. I'm gonna
help.
reset it and then I'm gonna push up.
Yeah, we need to get B
I
reset.
gotta
if
get
we
out
can.
too hard.
Is it low?
Yeah, there's a situation we do not need to get reset. That there was no chance they were gonna get an A there.
Got you.
We just needed to fight.
Enemy team
One
score.
shot trash.
Oh, he just got me PD wall. They're pushing back A. They're
Right here,
pushing back A.
hologram.
Probably grab C better.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
on
on.
commando. There's 2 on me, C.
Back A still. Back A close.
I got 2 of
Nice
them,
kill.
but we need to go for B immediately.
going B right
We
now.
only got 10 seconds. They're gonna be here.
Got an 8
I got
on
help though. Yeah. The other one's 1 as well.
Two,
We're
that's
never
2,
good.
they're dead, they're dead.
Alright, I'm pushing B.
B rows,
Yeah.
B rows, B stairs, B stairs, B stairs.
We need to get B.
I'm here.
And live. They're on balcony. I'm in behind them guys. They're on driveway. 1 shot.
Clear
I'm
the
gonna get
life,
1.
clear the
Looking.
Yep. Hand on me again and C. And main
Watch
ramp.
A, watch
Cut.
A. Watch
Cut.
A.
Speed stairs right below you. He's already on you.
Yeah, stopping.
Oh fuck. There's another one of them.
Nice kill push.
Rockets are up. Rockets are up. They're on him.
Play
I
one
need
more.
help on him. He's really Canadian with him. Absolutely.
Going laundry.
And A, we need to get something C or something.
Enemy team score.
This game. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The biggest thing, like, our reactions are just are really slow. Like the A reset there, clutch. Honestly,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
for sure.
it just
I got
fucked up. Like, you can't be backing up on the map when they're going to be hitting B on us already.
Got you.
Wait,
No, that makes sense.
We're just slow getting up pushed on the map. As soon as we have numbers and we know what, like that in those situations it should be pretty obvious. Like they're going to be hitting B. They're coming from sub. Like that's the only play they have really.
Right. It's not even worth
So-
the reset at all.
Well, it's worth to give that up. If they do flank purple for some reason, like honestly, it's a bad play by them. B is like really the only play they can hit there. So
Got it.
that's like it's a small example, but it was happening over and over again where we're just super slow to get to where they're going to be hitting. So then we're 2 steps behind.
Oh, I see.
We gotta
Right.
be much,
It's a
we
different
gotta
play
be
style.
much
Yeah,
fast. If we
And
get
you
if we get
see-
heavy numbers, we need to be turning immediately and flying towards wherever they're going to be hitting.
Got it.
And it's just hectic. Like there's so many times that like one of you guys is like just jumping out into the middle of the map or something instead of just holding down a position and watching. Like I think you guys are just like you guys are super amped up. I'm sure right now. So like playing fast, yada yada. So you if
you just see where we're at, dude. Like,
Just
we have
play
a lot
control,
of room to grow.
basically.
You know what I mean? We're not.
it's just so hectic for me, especially.
Yeah.
Like I'm making what I think is the right play, and then I'm like scanning, and like at one point, one of you guys was trying to take B, one of you was trying to take A, and one of you was trying to take C.
That was crazy.
Which
Yeah,
is-
you say we
which
were
is
spread out.
absolutely horrible. Like as soon as that happens, A, you shouldn't even be looking at strongholds. You should be getting to your like. You got to just run to your teammates somehow, some way. Get the fuck out of where you're at and get to a teammate. Like, because however that happened, like. I don't even know how it's possible, to be honest. Like, there's no way that all three of us
Yeah, that's
should be
kind of wild. I was
at,
like, what the
at
fuck?
all three strongholds all at the same time. But
Yeah, that's kind of
like,
crazy.
And yeah, we play together like a decent bit, but we're not like cohesive yet.
sure, and I'm being harsh, but like it's the only way that you guys
that's
can
what we
learn.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly.
I'm not gonna be easy on you. Like like
No,
whoever it was B stairs that like he ended up having a shotgun, but like you shouldn't have been like jumping down like that at him. Like you should be holding high ground at rail.
Right.
And just staring down at him because I told you exactly where he's at, and like you're just jumping down into like you're just basically making it a 50-50. Like,
Right.
Obviously it was unfortunate. The timing just sucked for you. He got below you and past you before you realized. But like if you're in that position on rail, like I would just stay at rail there, and you have high ground on him. You can back down at any point. But like when you fully commit to just like jumping at somebody like that, you're just it's just a 50-50. And if the timing's off for you, you're screwed. And he had a shotgun, so you're extra screwed. But you probably win that fight if you stay rail there.
Yeah.
It's situational, like, and I don't want you guys to start second guessing what you're doing, but
Right.
just start like if we have numbers, that's when like you want to play fast, but you don't want to put yourself in a position that you're gonna die. So like getting to rail there quick would have been the play because you're still getting out and getting information on the map, but you're not putting yourself in a vulnerable position. Yeah.
Facts. All right. Do you try to hold car as much as you can on the side, dude?
Yeah, I mean shots are very important.
Yeah.
I would say. The pink side is also important to get
Bottom
angles.
mid. He's on there.
I hear that. I'm looking at shots right now.
One shot at pink.
Yeah, he just chased me. He's our brick.
They're pink one.
I got fired. Yellow jump up.
The big
That was
one.
such a two-shot.
Yeah.
He's our corner.
One's pink one on me, guys.
I'm trying to look.
Yeah, we're all dead.
One shot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Leave
they're
that,
on the
leave
base
that.
already. They're on.
I know you might have
I got your guy. I got your guy.
No,
we can
There's
probably
no
OE. Probably OE. Nice,
I
see
got.
that. Even right there, you two just split. One of you guys went pink 2, and the other one came back. So that's you want to make sure we're staying together there.
I got
Blue
it behind him.
I'm trying to go car 3.
Bottom mid, bottom mid.
Yellow card.
I'm on this fight, guy.
Car one,
I need
car
help.
one.
Those two guys there.
One shot there, court.
After the gen. Those two guys are gen. One shot on one.
That Nate killed me.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, even right there, you two should have been doing the same thing instead of one coming back and one pushing out.
I'm just gonna start saying what I'm doing.
Yeah, just
One shot in our util.
I hear that. I'm going util right now.
You just ran away. You went to car 3.
Pink 2 weak. Pink 2 weak.
Car
Car 3, one shot.
I'm gonna die. Getting shocked.
Car 1, are you util?
There's
Yeah,
two
you need to get down clutch to the last guy. You should not be out of the car.
You're right.
Keep your shields as best
Car
you can.
base right now.
Yes, you're probably gonna die, but just somebody OE.
Yeah, 2 shots under shroom stairs.
One on our util.
He's on our
Alright,
5
we're in
One
the
car
base.
3.
Look who's out of spawn there.
You guys just need to slow it down off spawn. Just do not die off
Look
your
pink.
spawn.
They're gonna be behind us, pink.
I'm just playing for this fly guy. I have a heat wave. Just get to me if you can. They're
Yeah.
all gonna be on me.
I
Literally
watch
every one of them.
connector. There's one your
I
top
got
connector.
okay.
pushing you up.
Yeah, I'm
there.
looking.
Top middle.
Absolute top center. Absolute our bottom center. Inside
got it.
bottom
Try to
center.
get the return.
I got
Should I get
One in our base. One in our
Yeah.
base.
Me too. Their court, one shot.
Nice re.
Their bridge on that
That's
ping.
2 dead. Camo's about to get.
Yeah, nice.
In our
Alright,
base.
you by yourself
They
right
have
now.
it.
There's one shot on their
I'm
ping.
good with you, Fudge. I'm good with you.
Yeah. Oh, there's 3 in there. There's 3 in there.
There's
There's
2 there, yeah.
There's 3. Yeah,
There's
they're
one
on
there.
there. They might have a heat wave in there.
Yeah, there's two guys are legit. They're both weak as fuck. I'm shocking them. I got one.
There's one
Here,
right,
one
camel's
shot.
right behind you.
I got
One good
two.
above.
Yeah, he's gonna kill
Camel's
me,
right behind
but
you.
I know too long.
Where is
He's got one.
Next
Got
to you,
one.
space.
He could come back 0 into our gen or bottom center. He might be front of our base. Keep that in mind.
I'm looking.
Oh, he's right here. Invis on me. There you go.
Dead.
Yeah.
One more car 3.
Yeah.
He's weak going our bottom.
I'm
Our
staying alive.
dynamos. They're
Looking.
going our
Pushing
dynamos top.
right top.
Connector.
Look like. I spawned in RP.
I got another.
There's a car 2.
He won. Our car won. One shot.
Yeah, he got me. He's got a heat wave in our gen. He actually didn't pick it up, but he's coming. He's pushing our flag right now. You guys there, just keep your
Top
shields as best you can.
connector. Top connector.
Yep,
You're
nice
gonna
job,
chase me?
bud. Help as long as you can.
Nice.
Our
Nice,
shoot
nice.
stairs.
I'm pushing back in.
L3. Very weak our closet.
Okay, then I got fired from bottom.
One
court.
shot, P1.
I got him.
On flag, one shot. On flag, at very weak.
Bottom mid.
I got him. I'll get him. Dead. Two down.
Blue court.
There's two in their brick.
Yeah, we don't need to get on this re immediately. If we get naded, just
I'm shooting him.
very weak to bomb center. You should die. Alright.
Return.
On their flag, probably.
We have numbers here. We have numbers.
They're
I
pink.
don't
Bottom
know.
fridge. Bottom
Absolutely
fridge.
pink. Absolutely pink. There's going to be 2 guys there. Probably 3. We need to get back eyes into the middle of the map. They're already going to be pushed out.
Oh my god, what the
Absolutely pink on our side. And their front base.
There's one in there.
I killed fridge.
Dynamos.
I'm here with you, Clutch. You gotta try and live. Don't worry about that flag right now.
He's going
L3.
util.
L3. I think one went L3.
He's in util.
Our util weak.
You guys are low gen on me? They're both weak. Yeah, they're on both sides, gen.
One shot, yeah.
Try and get eyes on flag immediately. Close. They're gonna probably try and go for a touch.
They're top mid right now.
Just stay back.
One shot. Got him.
Yep, we're good.
Another util.
We got the reset.
Try and
He's
live
on our
up. They're
brick.
gonna be on our flag.
P2, one shot.
Somebody
Yeah,
get back
I
to me our flag. I'm on our flag. I need help. They're gonna be
I'm here. I'm stuck over
Very
fridge.
weak. Very
Middle's our court.
One shot. Nice
got the
trade.
R
Nice
flag.
trade.
Alright, I'm pushing out.
Okay, just try and get eyes in the middle of the map here.
He's their fridge. To their fridge.
There's one still in our base somehow.
There's a guy. Yeah.
We stopped our base.
Bunch of dinner.
Yeah, Camo was in the bottom corner.
Our fridge. To our
Going
fridge.
P1. Going P1.
There's 3 guys
Low,
inside
in
us.
front of our base is low. He might be going to shoot stairs.
One shot. I should get him.
I'm one.
I don't want to see that. Alright, let's be aggressive. We
Back
have heavy
Back their
numbers.
base. Back their base.
Alright, I'm
Back their
going.
Flying
base.
teammates
There's
shoot the
one
same
thing
thing
you
as teammates.
Back their base to
On
top.
top center, he's one shot their gen.
I'm
After the low
card
gen.
I'm card 3. I'm
Make sure we
pushing.
kill the gen guy. There's 2 guys at
Pushing.
flag. One's their gen and 2 guys at
He's
flag.
Bottom behind
I got
us
2 of
is
them.
Heat
Which
Wave.
one
Which
is
one?
it?
That's 3.
Come
That's
to
3.
gen with it.
Top is Heat Wave.
Three down
Top is
still.
Heat Wave.
I'll call
Buy me L1. He's weak to gen. Very weak to low gen. We need to kill this guy. Nice job, guys. Last guy's Triumph. Find him. He's gonna be pink side. Probably already pushing.
He's in
Triumph
quarter.
one. He's dead.
Nice job, guys. That was the first guy up. There's 2 alive already.
To their base.
One in their gen. One in their brick. 2 shots going bottom mid. 2 shots going bottom mid right now.
Looking. He should die. He said.
That's a cop.
I don't need it.
Nice. There's another one in their gen right now. He's pushing cart 1.
I'm top tank. Pink 2 on me. Very
Looking.
weak. Yeah, he's dead. I'm dead. You're the last guy, so just keep your
Yeah.
shield.
Alright.
I'm riding.
Somebody get to our gen. Somebody get to our gen
I'm
now.
shocked. I'm shocked.
P2. 2
Brick side.
shots.
Brick side. Brick side.
Spawning into that. I'm one shot. Help me, gen.
Yeah.
They're gonna be here, clutch.
Our court, one shot.
I'm pushing
I'm
out.
with you.
There's one more our base.
I'm with you on card 3. Oh.
And Mr. Jones, he's our front base, very weak. On flag.
Dead. He's
One
dead.
shot on flag
On our
now.
fridge.
Probably more.
Yeah,
On our bridge. 2 shots. There's 3 up.
Okay,
2
flag.
left. 2 left. I'm almost there.
Our gen,
I'm grabbing
our
this
gen,
down.
our gen.
Our base somewhere.
There you go.
On their util low. He's on their shoot stairs.
Car 3, car 3.
Okay, so 2 machines in their gen, top gen, and then there's 2 going into their gen.
Pink one as well. Pink one as well, guys. He's gonna be our pink, our fridge.
Play that life, yeah.
They're dinos, they're dinos. I have
Round
camo,
three.
so our
Two down,
fridge,
two down.
our fridge.
Pink our fridge. Let's kill this guy.
They're
I'll come here.
dynamos. They're util.
3 dead.
They're util going up. Util connecting.
Alright, that was last guy.
I'm pushing you, monkey. I'm pushing you. Play
Okay,
life.
they're on
3
this
dead.
flag. They're pink side on me. I need help pink too. Absolute.
I'm on util side right now.
there.
Absolute pink.
Yeah,
Okay.
looking.
You need to get off top
I got
center,
him, I got
I'm
probably.
going pink, I'm going pink right now.
Just keep eyes in the middle of the map if we can.
Oh, it's checking for
Yeah,
diamonds.
it's fun.
They're util, 2 they're util.
2.
Yeah, and P2 right now.
I got the flank.
One
Got
shot.
one.
There's 2 pizza. There's 2 util.
Pink two.
2 shots. 1 shot going dinos right now.
Ammo. Absolute pink two.
I like
He
how you
wait-
keep
he-
GA there.
Yeah, he was on respawn.
I hear that.
Pink two.
Yo,
Pink two.
P. Coming
Alright, we're
off
all on our
fridge.
base. We need to keep our shields in our base until they push. Just try and get damage down. He's doing
One's on our side.
There's one util.
Yeah.
There's one top mid. Top mid still.
We're absolutely
One on me here. Got him.
Nice
I got
job.
you.
That was 3.
Alright, I'm pushing
He's
out.
one on,
L3. L3. He's
Yeah.
got a shot. That's last guy. They're gonna spawn their gen or their flag. Already in our gen. I need help.
I'm pushing.
Absolute our gen.
P2,
Reserve,
P2, one
reserve.
shot.
I don't know. He's up top. He's here. He's L3 probably. And L2. L2 weak. He's gonna have shock
He's
probably.
right here on us. Our top our gen.
Gonna kill me.
I'm coming at you.
L2.
One's pushing
and
my P1.
Pink 3. Pink 3.
He's in our gen. He's in our gen. Our top
P3
gen now.
is weak.
He's pushing a bridge.
One shot of P1.
I got that guy.
It's
Do that
2
right
on
now.
2. 2 on 2.
Alright, I'm pushing. I'm
P1
going car
P2 at
monkey.
this
You go
point.
P.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have help
P2.
car.
P2 right now.
I hear that.
In their gen, guys. In their
P2's
gen.
dead. P2's dead. Yeah, car 3 and our court. P3 still.
One in their gen.
Their gen absolute.
One of their P1.
One's top mid.
One of their
Your
P1.
last
One
one,
top.
Lunch.
One our fridge. He's one our fridge.
One's our base right now.
R3, yeah.
Watch out L2.
Camo's our fridge.
You guys L2. Alright, we gotta live here.
I got camo.
One shot on our flag, one shot on our flag, one shot on our flag.
Fine, pick him if you can.
Alright, OE.
The guy with the flag is one. He's probably got 2 shields right now.
I should.
He's top
I got
P2.
one.
Top P2.
I'm looking.
P2 weak.
P2 dead. P2 dead.
Can we shoot this flag?
We try to.
I'll get. We might be able to counter off.
3 dead. 3 dead.
Right behind you, left,
Fridge.
left,
They're
behind
gonna
me.
spawn
Yeah,
fridge.
it's really-
Oh, wait, reset. Yeah, get back.
Yeah, do not go. All you. They're gonna be the pink side on us.
I'm about to push in.
We see fridge.
Pink 2 guys, look top center if we can.
Bottom mid, going to you, lunch, going to you.
Bottom
Lunch.
middle, P1, P1,
Absolute.
P1, 2.
Absolute on my X.
Oh, there's 2.
P1's one.
They're on both sides, they're on
Yeah,
both sides.
okay.
P1 and car 1. I should play position, probably.
Just let him have that rate. We're not having.
I got
Our pink
one.
side. One's our pink side somewhere.
That's 2
Our pink
dead.
door, one shot,
I
guys.
got you.
3 dead, guys. Last guy's
Watch
car
out,
one.
car 1 with thruster.
They're spawning to the bridge, they're spawning to the bridge.
He's gonna be meeting you right now.
Oh, yeah, he's at P1 now.
He's here.
There's a heat
Yeah.
wave up, there's a heat wave up.
3 their fridge. 3 their
Yeah,
fridge.
I'm trying to make you on.
And then our fridge as well. They're on either side.
Yeah, I'll
We
try
gotta
you,
try and
yeah,
look
yeah,
here.
there's only this. Here. Oh, you're by yourself, monkey, that's why. I
Pink
got
2
you.
guys.
Okay, you
Car
pop
three,
out
okay.
this guy.
Our
One,
fridge.
queen, and then call out what you see, call out what you see.
R3 guys. R3.
One more.
Nice, that was beautiful. Good shit, guys.
R3 as well.
I hear that. I'm looking.
You might be our gen already.
He's
He's behind us.
out.
He's our base. He's our base.
Lewis right here on me.
One shot their bottom view.
I think he
I
might
got
be our
him.
shoot.
3 on 3. Yeah, we only got 2 minutes left, so we gotta be pretty aggressive.
Their fridge right now.
Car 3, or yellow connector. Car 3, or yellow connector.
Their fridge, one shot.
This is up.
What's coming, guys? I got the fridge.
He's one shot our car.
We can make a play with this
car
game.
We
1.
got him.
I'm
one down.
Shopping 2.
I got one.
Nice trade.
Alright, we got a minute 45. We gotta start OEing pink side
Yeah,
probably.
I'm going right
There's
now.
the P jump right now, right behind you, Space.
Nice. Just try and work together. You two need to work together. Do not leave each other.
I got another.
Monkey, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Monkey, I'm with you.
Yeah, they're gen 1 shot. 3 dead.
3
Three
dead.
to the
3
base.
dead.
Last guy's a flag somewhere looking at me, maybe. He's their back flag, I bet.
Monkey, get back.
I can, bro.
Yeah,
I got a dead. There's 2 in there. Time.
I'm trying to help you, bud.
Oh yeah, there's 3 on their P side. There's
They're
3 on their
forward.
P side.
I got one.
Airport.
Alright, we got a
Two,
minute.
two, two.
Minute left. You gotta live space. You gotta just play safe if you can.
I got him.
They're
Nice,
pushing
nice,
right now. They're
nice,
pushing right now.
We're
They're
Wrong
gonna
car
keep
side,
them
wrong
here.
car
We're gonna
side. I'm gonna check if they're gonna OE.
Sniper up in the
I got that.
gen.
Push up a little bit.
Probably more. Probably gonna be more.
I'm on their P side.
Alright, we need eyes
One
in
shot on the
base if we
P2.
can.
One shot on the P2.
Yeah, he's gonna
Right
live.
here, bottom of the right.
We got him. 2 dead. I need help their flag.
One shot. Their
Yeah,
base.
one down, one
Their
down, one
base.
shot
That's
myself.
1 shot.
There's one shot behind you. Lunch.
I'm coming lunch on car 3.
Yeah, I'm at car 3 as well.
I got 2.
There's
I need
not
help.
be another.
I'm throwing it to the fridge. This guy gonna spawn at the fridge
I
right
need
now.
flag. Absolute flag. I got 2 of them. I need help.
I'm here. I'm here.
Let me run
On our
this.
base.
3 down.
Last guy's our flag with heat wave.
Yeah, last car flag. Last car
He's our
flag.
stream stairs. We need to look clutch. You need to turn and go back.
Good.
No.
He's my youth kill.
Yeah,
Hey,
Flag
he's
on,
in the
flag
base
on,
now.
flag.
absolute ping 1. Absolute ping 1.
Needed me out. One shot on that car jump.
Flag is 1 shot again. I got 2 of them.
2 down.
Nice. Get that touch, Mons. I got 3.
On the ring.
One shot on me. One shot on me.
I'll get 3. I'll get 3. They're like, go.
I can. There's a guy L2 again. Need to double see that guy.
Triumph is 1. There's another guy pushing. He's on it now.
We gotta try to stop the 3.
I got him.
Touch it. Oh my
Nice.
god.
Nice.
2 down.
They're gonna be a mid map. Top center probably. The top center today has got camo. He's a little weak. Might be our pink door. Do not let him get in our pink side. Camo is dead.
I'm delivering. I'm
Nice
delivering.
job, guys.
Oh my god.
Good clutch.
Way to keep it together.
Make sure we're like that last guy live clutch there is the only guy that was a problem.
Yeah.
It took you way too long to turn. You just gotta go immediately back.
Got you.
He was the only guy that could have stopped us.
Alright, I'm running
I'm
with
gonna
you
go pink side
lunch.
with you clutch. Alright, I'm gonna go thrust and you two go
There's
to mid.
Alright.
You're gonna be coming from that
Good
here.
touch.
You guys are top L3. You guys L3.
I got one.
Pick one shot. Two dead. Nice shit, guys.
Yeah,
Right here on
I
me.
have camo. I have camo.
They're front base with me.
I'm trying to get that guy.
Absolute front base. Last guy where?
3 dead. 3 dead.
L3.
Fridge on.
L2 somewhere.
Yeah, L1. Go there. I killed him.
Shit, I thought I had thrust, but.
There's one there.
They're base right now.
Alright, we cannot run this.
2 on 3,
We're
2 on
back
3
up.
to us.
Gonna be L3. Look L3 with me. Yeah, fuck.
He's one shot.
I got him.
Nice.
Gonna be L3 now. He's already L3.
I'm looking at him.
That's
Two over there. One top mid.
Pink L two.
I'm looking top mid. I'm here with you, Lunch.
Absolutely, they're Fryer. Absolutely, they're pink. There's two guys here.
My main court.
That guy.
Three
Last
dead.
guy queen. Where?
Last
L1?
guy, car one. Last guy, car
Yeah,
one.
last one car
You
one.
might be able to run that. You gotta go quick.
Good
They're
touch,
gonna be pink
yeah.
side. They're gonna be pink side.
One
Kill
shot
that
on
pink guy.
Got
Nice,
that.
guys. Keep running. They're gonna be pink. Look pink now.
I'm getting shot
In
from
front of the
across
pink.
there.
I got another.
Nice job.
Here, throw it to me.
Oh,
You guys just on the center?
don't worry about it.
They're coming here.
Yeah,
I
rotate.
think.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Good,
Keep
good
running.
touch.
I got them both.
Good.
I'm trying to get to him.
Watch you guys are windows, so they cannot stop it. That shit, guys.
Capture.
Beautiful.
Jeez.
Yeah, like I'm trying to direct a ton there because it's like I know the win, and I know the win cons. Like it's like what I was saying to Clutch. Like that the guy at our base with the heat wave, we had 3 dead. That was the only guy alive.
Yeah.
Clutch just needed to immediately turn to kill that guy because that's our win con. If we kill that guy, we probably cap the flag, which you did end up turning, and we did end up capping that flag.
Yeah, it's just a couple seconds.
So it's fine. It just took a second, but like even towards the end there, like I'm constantly yelling when I know that we have a huge advantage. Like we have 2 dead. I know that there's one guy on me that's one shot. We finish him. Like it's all about like stressing the callouts that are also very important. Like when we had 2 dead, even at the end, the last guy alive was L1. It took so long for us to turn for that guy. Like 2 of us were in their closet pushing into their gen. I could hear him on your guys' screen. I was on one of your desk screens. I could hear him running. Like, so, like one of you guys should have already heard that, called it out, and been hunting him. But you know what I mean? Like that's so it's again just like slowing stuff down. We have an advantage, but speeding stuff up like with your play. In a sense, it's hard to explain. Like it's
No, I know.
like,
What
you
mean.
Just recognizing what you.
Yeah, like you just gotta know
Game
that guy is. There was 2 of you guys L3. That guy was like L1, L2 area. He is so fucked if you guys just both hunt him quickly. But like if it takes you guys 5 seconds before you even start to hunt him, it's too late. Like he's gonna potentially get help at the tail end of that fight before you guys can kill him. So it's just very important that you're taking advantage of every single little like opportunity that we have. But again, like it's a thing. Like I honestly would not be able to go that hard every single game. I would lose my voice. Like So it's like I'm constantly trying to direct traffic and then also like make the best play on my screen. So like it's a lot for me to try and coordinate it at times.
Yeah. Sure.
If I want to speak further, dude, like where do I communicate with you?
What do you mean?
Like if I want to pay for another session.
I mean Twitter DMs, and
Twitter, okay,
or Discord. Twitter's probably the easiest way, but my meta profile's on there. But yeah, I mean, again, there's like there's so much we can go over and stuff, and like I saw improvement even from the first games of that last one of just like responding to call outs, like. But again, like there was multiple times I said in the middle of the game where it's like 2 of us would split off, like one of you went pink 2 and the other one went back to our base. That's like the absolute worst thing that you could ever do, in my opinion. It's like you're basically just splitting yourself off completely, where you'll never be able to help each other, and you're hoping to God that like you're winning 1v1s wherever you walk to, instead of just like taking the high percentage play and just run with your teammate. It might not work out. Like you guys could have pushed pink 2 and ran into 3 and both died, but like the chances of that happening are very low. Like you gotta just make sure that like when you spawn up, the first thing so there's a few things. When I spawn up, the first things in my mind are, is there anything on the map I can go get to better myself? Like a thrust? Is there nades up? Is there something close that's very attainable? A lot of times on that, like thrust is not that attainable. If they have map control, you can't just push our front base for the thrust, but like it's something that you can work towards eventually. Like if you get some damage down, you get a pick, then you go for it. The other thing is, where are my teammates at? If I see a teammate push up on pink side real heavy, I'm probably not going to push car side because I'm isolating myself.
Do you ever want to go for crosses though? Like at what point?
You do, but like if you see your teammates are pink side, that means that you have control of pink side of the map, so the enemy is not there, which means they're probably going to be on the opposite side, which is what you're pushing into. Like you gotta constantly be thinking about that. It's not to say that like, of course, like you don't all 4 want to be on the same side of the map, but like if I see my teammates are heavy pink side, I'm not pushing into our gen most likely. And if I do push that way, I'm playing it super safe. I'm pre-nading the door before I even go in. I'm expecting there to be guys there. So like I'm ready to fight before I even get into gen. Like I said, I'm pre-nading. I'm cracked movement, like sliding in, so I get first shot maybe. Like I'm not being lazy about it. Is a big thing. So like just making sure like you guys are continuing to communicate with one another. You're saying when you're pushing. You're You're saying what we're doing, like where you want to run flag. Like that was a good flag run at the end clutch. Like running it straight out front. We had 3 dead.
Yeah.
We knew exactly where the last guy alive was. So that's a calculated risk. Just fucking fly out with that flag. You ended up, helping finish that kill and continue running the flag. And all I did that entire time, I just watched because I knew they had to push. It was the last flag. It was sudden death or overtime. All I had to do was watch the cutoff. So they literally 2 guys came through our bottom center, and I just shot them for free. They didn't even shoot at me. They were trying to kill you guys. I positioned myself on our pink little perch, and just stared at the middle of the map because they have to come. I don't have to do anything. I literally just have to hold my aimer in a spot and just see where they're coming from, and they're not even going to shoot at me. They're going to shoot at our flag guy because we're about to cap the winning flag. It's like that's a situation where I know all I have to do is stay. And that was the other thing. There was multiple times that like, as the last guy alive or the first guy up, like there was one time I caught you all the way out like on the flag clutch. Like if you're the last guy alive, you cannot be there. You will just die instantly every single time. You got to be like
that's right, yeah.
hiding in a corner somewhere on our flag, hoping to God they don't check it as the only guy up. Like and I caught you guys doing that a lot. Like we're there's 2 of us dead, there's 2 of us alive, and like we're still making a push or still trying to make a crazy play, where it's like. If they have heavy numbers on the map, your goal should just be to stay alive. Like you don't want to engage, you don't want to expose yourself if possible. They might already know where you're at, but if they don't, take that in consideration. If you haven't been shot at or naded or anything, like maybe they don't know where you're at, so you have the advantage. You can make a sneaky play.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot that goes into it, and like there was definitely improvement from the first games to the last in terms of what you guys were calling out, how we were calling it out. So
right, it did feel different.
It's easy to revert. The one thing I'll say is it's easy to revert. As soon as I'm not playing with you guys and I'm not calling out that way, you don't want to revert back to
good habits.
Because that's the only way.
We can't do it aggressively. Like I feel like we do, like we get mad and then like start trying to like everyone's trying to take control. Like we just gotta like keep it smooth. Because Lunch did a good job of not being like aggressive, but like just like stating the facts. You know what I mean?
Unless you needed to.
Yeah.
I get super I guess you want to call it aggressive with my calls when I know that like the other team is fucked unless we fuck it up. Like if it's a 4-on-2, I'm engaged on the third guy. I've got a 1 shot, and then my communication immediately goes to where's the last guy. Like
I mean, you would expect a coach to have like those top tier call outs. You know what I mean?
It's absolutely.
Your job, yeah.
Those are exactly though what you guys should be focusing on every time you get into those situations. Like anytime that we have heavy numbers, the conversation needs to immediately go, where's the last 2? And you're hunting. You are actively trying to find them.
Objective, fucking heavy on objective.
But and not by yourself though. Like when you have heavy numbers, you need to be running with a teammate, so that way you're not running into a 1v1 when it's a 4-on-2 on the map. Like you don't want to isolate yourself into like Gen by yourself and then possibly have to fight a 1v1. Like that. Yeah, that's worst case scenario. If we have a 4-on-2, you should never be fighting a 1v1. You should be getting help, or you should be forcing
waiting on spawns. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. So, anyways, there was definitely lots of improvement, which is good. Like that should be the goal. Like if somebody's telling you to come somewhere, like you should be going there. Unless like for some reason you aren't able to, say you can't come, and then I know like I'm not gonna have help. I'm whatever it may be. Like you know that you're not going to have immediate assistance potentially if somebody calls you off on something. So again, it's all about having a conversation. You guys should be having a conversation every game. We got 2 dead. Where's the last 2? Okay, I'm pushing them. We got them dead. Where are they spawning? Immediately. Like that has to happen instantly. Like it, because that's the one thing I'll say. Like a lot of times on that street stronghold, we were like, you guys are like 5 seconds delayed on what you should have been doing already.
Right.
Like pushing back for the nest reset when you should have already been pushing B 5 seconds before. Or we get caught. We're in PD. 2 of us go back nest, and 2 of us push into market. That's worst case scenario. In those situations, you're going to lose 99% of the time because we're splitting ourselves, and the enemy's going to have numbers, whichever side they decide to hit harder. So just keep that in mind. Like there's going to be like again, Halo is incredibly situational. Sometimes if you're 2 and 2 split on the map, where like 2 of us are market, 2 of us are purple on streets, it might work out, but more times than not, it's not going to.
Especially
when you spread that thin. Yeah, especially and that should be the goal. Like you never know what you're going to get in matchmaking, who you're going to be playing, the skill level, and all that. But like, I'm wanting to 5-0 people in matchmaking on Aquarius CTF. Like I'm wanting to 250 to 0 people. I'm not wanting to just win by a few seconds. Like I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm a competitive person. I'm a perfectionist. I like to try and obviously, win as big as possible. So
yeah, well,
I
we
would
got
think
a lot to work on, but
I mean,
I can't thank you enough.
yeah, you guys. I mean, you guys are solid individually. It's not like you're running around getting pooped on or anything. It's like it all comes down to positioning, putting yourself in the best case scenario for like the battles. Like again, I'll go back to the cuts play where it's like you jumped on the guy that was below you. You basically gave up high ground to charge that guy. Where it's like you could have just stood still and stared down there and just let him come to you. It's like those little plays are super small. That play certainly didn't cost us the game. It didn't really cost us that much, but it's like if I see it once, it's probably happening more than that. You know what I mean? So that's why I call it out. How I did. It's like when you have the advantage, you just don't want to give it up easily. If you have high ground, if you're controlling Stalker, for example, because I think there was another time I think one of you guys had Stalker and sub, and I knew it, so I was playing off that information, and then I ended up like dying to a guy that had Stalker because we died or we left sub or something and didn't say it. Like those are the important moments that like if I see somebody in sub on my team, I'm expecting them to stay there to lay down damage unless they have a reason to push out, or you say you're pushing out, like.
Right,
So
yeah.
again, like a lot of the things that I'm seeing on the map, I'm like assuming that you might do something unless you tell me otherwise, and then if you don't tell me otherwise, and then you do something different, is when like our setup breaks down at times. Because I don't know where you've went, like you didn't say where you're going, yada yada. So those things all matter. Just keep that in mind. You guys will get infinitely better if you just slow your comms down and then focus on the most important things: numbers, last guys alive. And being aggressive on them. Like you can't just call the last guys alive out and then like back up on the map if you're in any sort of position that you could be aggressive. Because to your point, that one of you asked me earlier, like, do I prefer to be aggressive or play safe off of like advantages? Well, you always want to play aggressive off the advantages, assuming that you're like in position to do so. If we're in the middle of the map, you have no choice but to be aggressive a lot of times. Because if you back up, it might be too late. They might spawn behind you, and then you're sandwiched with guys in front of you and behind you.
That makes sense.
So yeah, again, it's just all about pressing your advantages. If you get heavy numbers, there's no more ideal situation than that. If it's a 4-on-2 or something, somehow we got 2 picks and none of us died, like that's perfect.
That's
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're cutting out. You're cutting out.
Towards the end of December, but I'll give you at least like a 2 or 3 week notice. Yeah, no big deal as far as.
I think it's on somebody
Yeah,
else.
yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, do you guys have any other questions?
Yeah, I think
I appreciate the feedback, and I
great.
definitely will be reviewing for sure. I mean, I personally do that on my own already, so I totally understand what you're saying.
You're not getting rid of me.
Again, it's I hope I don't come off as like harsh or anything like that.
No. I mean, honestly, that's the same way I am too. So I appreciate it. That's the only way I learn. Like
that's the only way that I can give you. Yeah, it's the only way I can give you constructive feedback is if I give you the exact situation that I saw and how I would have played it.
Right, and that's exactly what
like if you watch my POV, I would like to think like very rarely do I just give myself up in a fight where I put myself in a really bad position and I lost it because of my positioning. Like.
Right.
Most of the time, it's like I just didn't have enough information, and I got double teamed, or maybe I just missed a shot. Like that's gonna happen. Those fights will happen to any player. Everybody gets outshot every once in a while. Everybody, makes a bad play here and there. But it's like my bad plays are not me putting myself in a stupid position.
It's just getting outplayed.
Yeah, it's like the other team has either set heavy numbers in a position that I didn't expect, something like that. Like those are gonna happen, but. The situations like that I have an advantage, I'm not giving the advantage up and losing the fight. Like I'm gonna play my advantage as hard as I can, and then I hopefully win that fight because of because of that advantage. But
right.
Are you down here right now? Yeah, you're checking it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, Jason. That's great, man. Appreciate everything. It's it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and it is a lot. I'm sure after I'm talking a lot. There's a lot of things to digest, but at the end of the day, it's about trying to recognize, and strongholds in particular, it's like you guys were super slow to recognize where we needed to be pushing before it happened. Like it happened multiple times where like I knew they were hitting B like 5 seconds before any of you guys reacted to it.
That's fucking rowdy.
I just knew because of where they were spawning and where the likelihood they were coming.
Going. Yeah.
So like you guys just gotta keep recognizing those situations and keep getting faster. Like it will come. If you guys are putting the effort forth, watching film, seeing how it's breaking down, you will get faster in those situations where, to me, they're very obvious, but to you guys, like you guys haven't played as much of this game, like you haven't probably watch nearly as much at the high level as I have. So
I'll talk to you in a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I'm gonna have.
All right. Yeah, no doubt.
Of course, I'm gonna be able to see these situations faster because I've been playing Halo professionally for 15, 20 years. So yeah, it's one of those things that just keep working on it. They will become more obvious the more that your guys are putting the time in, and especially if you guys are playing as a team or even as like a duo, whatever it is. Like,
do you
really
think playing with the same people is like really going to be crucial? You know what I mean? Just to like learn how you guys move and stuff. Is it hard when you switch up teams a lot, or should you still?
I would
make
say
improvements that way.
I would say the biggest thing is it removes variables. Like if you're constantly switching around playing, like of course unless you have a set team that you're focused on like going to events with, like obviously you're probably going to be playing with other people. But I love to squad up with 3 guys that are calming and like we're all putting like what we just did. I enjoy doing that. Like I'm getting some communication. Like I'm able to kind of put myself back in when I competed. Like I'm directing
right, and
traffic.
it depends on like who you're trying to play with too. Like that's who you ultimately want to play with.
Exactly.
And David, I know you're
having
to go
fun.
big, and so I mean, I just don't know if I'm there yet. I don't know if I can commit, but like, I'm always down to support and like do what I can to get some good practice in.
Well, at the end of the day, even just like playing with people that are going to communicate and stuff is going to make you better than just like playing solo by yourself. Like you should be able to, because no matter what, like you should be able to digest whatever callouts you're getting and make your best play off of it. You don't always have to listen to the play calls if you don't like what they are. Or, you have something else in mind. You just say you're not doing it. Just say, no, I'm gonna grab soccer instead, or I'm gonna push this instead. Like, all you have to do is to say what you're doing. Like, it sounds so simple, but nobody really does. It's only done at the highest level consistently.
Right. It's like having a radar if you know where.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? That's exactly what it's like. I mean, if I'm getting good information, it is like I have. In fact, when I play by myself, I feel like I have radar because I'm listening to footsteps. If I hear a grenade thrown, if I hear a grenade blow up, I know what direction it came from. Like. I am utilizing every sound cue on the map, and that's what you guys should be doing.
What
as well.
Headset do you use? Do you use in-ear?
No, so I use Astros at home. We're sponsored by Razer, so technically we're supposed to be using Razer, but I use Astros just because they're comfortable. I've always used them. Like if I'm on stream,
like
I wear Razers. I use A40s, but to be honest,
I
the headphones are
right now, and they're honestly like they're amazing because you can hear everything.
I was gonna say, they definitely make a difference.
You can't really say anything. Like that, like there's times where I see other people's screens and like I call out what they don't hear, and that's exactly where they're at. So I think Astros has a better like surround sound system than others.
Especially the mix amp. If you don't have a mix amp, a lot of times it's hard because you can't adjust individual volume. Like you can just
that was
voice
the thing in 2010, dude. The V5 and Astros.
Yeah. It's. I mean, again, everything plays a factor. Headphones.
When you're with your VR though, dude, like I know it's a lot different in this game. Do you really just not touch that right stick?
I would say I'm pretty right stick heavy. Like I whip my shots probably more. Like my shot is not the best in the game, that's for sure. I miss shots occasionally, but I can compete with, to be honest, anybody except for maybe like the top 4 teams.
Play on?
I play 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that's what I play. Okay, cool.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something like I've never been one to really mess with my settings. I get on something that I feel is comfortable, and then I just stick to it normally. Very rarely do I adjust unless like I lose a fight because I like windmilled or something. Then maybe I would adjust, but that doesn't really happen ever to me. Where I just like completely.
I just try to flick up to that last one, like get the 3 body, and then. But
at the end of the day, like the shooting is something that your goal should just be to get to where you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like you're just hitting your shots because it's just routine. Like
because winning important ones is crucial too. I know you shouldn't really be in ones, but like that can be a difference maker.
It definitely is. I mean that's another thing at the highest level. Like I know when I need to take a 1v1. I know like when if I wait another 5 seconds, I'm gonna get surrounded or his teammate's gonna get there to help him. So I know when I need to take a 1v1, and if I win it, I potentially stay alive.
Exactly, then I can and have that position.
Yeah. So again, like these are all situations. Like the more that you're playing, the more that you're running into these situations. Hopefully, you're improving on them. You're getting better. You're recognizing them faster, and you're making plays based off of them. Because when you're 2 or 3, 4, 5 seconds late to what you should have already been doing, they're gonna get first shot. They're gonna have a pre-nade on you. They're gonna have weapons already on top of you. Like every second is so crucial. As soon as kills start to happen, like. if you don't clear them out fast enough, like I said, they're gonna spawn up and be behind you before you can get those kills. So
how do you prevent them? Like blocking spawns, is that like just a whole different conversation, or is it pretty simple? Like,
yeah, I mean,
you obviously know where they're gonna spawn like to a T, but can you really be in a certain position that forces it?
yeah, I mean, our team is constantly talking about where we want them to spawn. Like, recharge, for example, if we start getting 2 or 3 kills, we are already like preemptively positioning ourselves where we want to block so that they'll spawn somewhere. Like, and it's something that a lot of times maybe it gets talked about like we're gonna try and spawn them C. So like immediately somebody is just working their way while still being in the fight. Like you can't just tunnel somewhere to block a spawn. Like you can't put yourself out of the fight just to go block a spawn most of the time. You got to be working like
that way,
looking, just like start working yourself that way, like still looking at the middle of the map, like maybe go turbine, but like stare out towards like C plat and long haul caution as you're still walking towards elevator, and also checking it to make sure they don't spawn in front of you. Like it's very in depth, and like until you have a set team that is well versed, communicated, how you want to play games. Like there's really no reason to even talk about that, to be honest. Because it's like it's in the very in-depth part of Halo, like, and just playing from you guys.
There's other things that take priority,
right? Yeah, like you guys aren't quite there to be talking about that, to be honest. Like you got to focus on like the the smaller things first, and then like then you would work your way towards like where exactly do we want them to spawn? Because like how many situations that when you guys are playing as your squad of 4 do you 4 dead somebody and get them in
behind me?
Like that you can actually block the spawns. Like most of the times it's probably pretty mixy for you guys. Like you're winning games, but it's chaotic at times. Like that's how matchmaking is. So
and we're matchmaking kids right now.
Right? Exactly. And that's how that's how I play this game as well. Like I only play matchmaking. I'm not playing high level 4s, so the game plays completely different at the highest level than it does in matchmaking. Obviously, it's not even really the same game.
Absolutely.
Strategy and stuff is all different. So, anyways, I mean, just keep working on it. Again, if you guys have the passion, it's not even like you have to. Your goal doesn't need to be to win an event or go to a tournament and win. It can be
like
to
24.
Yeah, I mean, it can be whatever your goal is. Like break into the pool play or something. Maybe make pool play at an event, or even short term, like
go to an event at the least.
That or even just like try and dominate matchmaking. Get on for a night of matchmaking and try not to lose a game. Like when you're stacking a 4-stack of matchmaking, honestly, you guys shouldn't be losing that many games unless you're matching up against really good squads. Like it's very rare that you're matching up against another squad of 4. So you guys all 4 are communicating with one another. You guys should have a huge advantage every time you're playing matchmaking to win that game, unless you run into another 4-stack. So just keep like your goal should not be to lose a game if you're 4-stacking. And honestly, that's the fun of it to me is like, you're going to get competitive games, of course. You're not like, just going to play shitty competition all night. So the goal should be to not lose a game when you're 4-stacking. Like that's like the small term goal that I would have for myself anyways.
Yeah, and you were telling me like the first time we met, a good kind of thing to do is until somebody gets like super tilted or whatever. It's kind of like go for like 3 hours or something, make it kind of day, like a couple days a week, 4 to 5 days, something like that.
As I say, just with everything in life, like you can overdo shit, like start overthinking and even just get frustrated. Like you're not going to be playing your best if you're frustrated. And there's just some days you're having an off day. You're not shooting well. You're not fucking making good decisions. We all have those.
Do you suggest taking a break in that sense, or just grinding it out?
Yeah, I mean, I always say take a break, take a 30-minute breather, take an hour breather.
I
would say it's. I mean, if you're not getting. Yeah, especially if you're not getting paid to do this fucking full time. Like at the end of the day, it should still be fun for you. Like, and if you're getting frustrated,
that's the difference when orgs came in, dude. I mean, because dude, in Halo 3, like there wasn't as much money in it, dude. You didn't have the streaming, you didn't have.
It's a totally different world now. It's a full-time job now.
People are making. Sick, though. It's nice to see it evolve and like you guys get some recognition, dude. It's just after been following it from a long time, it's cool to see because HCS I prefer MLG honestly. Yeah. It just feels like the events are more hype, but
I mean
there's still something.
That's the one good thing we got going for us is viewership is still pretty good. I think they still had over 100,000 last event. So anytime Halo's got over 100, that's pretty good. Yeah. So hopefully Worlds is even more.
It'll be crazy, dude. We're gonna be hyped up.
Oh
Yeah.
We got the
Yeah.
green wall.
We appreciate that.
Shit,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the boys are. I mean, honestly, the boys could win with anybody behind them coaching them, but I'm glad it's me.
There you go.
It's a good.
We like the green wall enough that we're betting for the green wall and actual money
Yeah, dude.
all game.
We put like money. Like I bet on
I
Optic
mean-
Games that phase series. I was like, they're gonna pull it out.
I would put my money on the boys again for Worlds for
Always,
sure.
dude.
They're definitely
Games
the
is so
favorites
good,
and the
dude.
front runners. So it's
Yeah,
still
they're
Yeah,
the
man.
favorite.
it
Just
still just
now
depends
they
on
got
who's playing their
Are you
best.
scared of a team? Are you guys worry like of a team? I know you guys got it, but
No,
is there like
there's.
a specific team that you guys feel could be like a big dark horse in at Worlds?
I think Sentinels is always that team right now
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're kind of
They're
the
just so
they're kind of the
yeah.
underdogs. Like people don't expect them to win, but
Lethal's
they
the
still
X
fit in
factor.
for it. Yeah, he
If
is.
he's
I mean,
playing well.
Yeah,
he was
Frosty too, oh my
definitely
God.
struggling mightily before Kansas City when they won, and he had a pretty good
Do you
event against
think-
City. So
FaZe will pull it together, or they'll go through another roster change.
I think they struggle with a lot of. Theirs is more mental than
Pissed.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
They have their comms are definitely not great. I'll say that compared to
Yeah,
the
I
other
almost see
top
them not
teams.
talk sometimes. Like it's
Well, like-
quiet. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Renegade's just not happy to be there.
Yeah, and you can tell. Like you can tell when you
Yeah.
listen to their comms. Like he's frustrated. He's watching shit. He probably sees like what the fuck is going on. Like,
Yeah.
and then some of them have problems like communicating while they're shooting.
Yeah.
So like their comms are coming in late. And again, like if I'm not calling something out until 2 or 3 seconds after I've already started shooting at somebody, like that's too late if I'm expecting help during
Right.
that fight. Like. So yeah. Anyways, FaZe can win an event just like anybody else. Honestly,
Yeah.
they're probably one of the four teams that have a legitimate chance to win. Probably FaZe, C9, us, and Sentinels are the 4 teams that can win an event. Other than that, it would be
Yeah.
a shock. I mean, I would say it would be kind of a far fetched
G1 maybe?
for them to win, but
Yeah.
yeah, G1's been struggling lately compared to what they had been. I mean, their
Right.
spin scores aren't quite as good right now, and they're still a very good team. They could win, but I would say they're probably.
Do you know anything about like Forge and like when that's or like do you have any insider stuff?
Not much.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously did the pit remake on Forge, and then they've got a couple maps they've already announced that they're releasing. There's a 2 sniper not standoff map, but symmetrical map
Nice.
that is supposed to come out. I think called Argyle, but it doesn't
Okay.
come out until season 2. So
Yeah.
yeah, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, not too bad.
When is that scheduled to come out?
I'm not sure
Like
the exact
the-
month, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Hey, Lunch, last thing real quick, because I know you probably got to go
Yep.
too.
Yeah, you're good.
So, yeah, because, well, thanks again. It was awesome. It was,
Yeah.
obviously for me, it's kind of stressful because I'm thinking about all the things at once, so I get all kind of
Well,
neurotic.
that's it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but it's good though. I mean, that's how I'm learning too. So I'm like trying to think of what to do as we're doing it. And that's a big difference between like, playing the game the way you play it versus learning how to play it while you're playing it. It's like,
Sure, 'cause
yeah.
that's another point too. Is like everything the way I see it isn't exactly how everybody else is going to see it.
Right.
The one thing I'll say about that is I've been pretty successful throughout my career, so I think I have a pretty good grasp of like the win conditions and stuff like that. So, but everything I say is not always going to be maybe how you want to play that situation. But
Right.
most of what I'm saying is just like it's the highest percentage play. You can do something else, but
Yeah, and you might do good on it, but you
Yeah,
shouldn't always
exactly. It
take
might
it
work
as if
out,
it's
but-
the fucking way. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
mean
What's
it
your
is the way.
Twitter, Lunchbox?
just Lunchbox, twitter.com/Lunchbox.
At Lunchbox? Yeah.
Yeah, at
I'm looking.
Lunchbox.
And then,
Optic, yeah.
And then, like, to add on to that, so I asked that because I'm only saying this because I just want your feedback or context on it,
Sure.
on what it is. So like, let's say like we all of us know guys that are really good, like 1750s, 1800s, whatever, and they can like quote unquote shit on like really actual pro players, right? Like we play with pro players, right? I played with you, and
Yeah.
we played
Anything
at
is possible.
APG and all kinds of shit,
Yeah.
And let's say like we quote unquote shit on them and we win and we beat them a couple times, multiple times, every time, let's pretend. But when it comes to like the actual team, like you said, it's a whole different game because it's a different type of play style when it's a team versus team that are meant to try to win the game.
Yeah,
against
when
two
they're
teams.
still
Yeah.
You're saying when it's a set team or 4 random players that you're playing against, like
Yeah,
good random players.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I mean, again, like this game plays very differently in 4v4, where it's 2 set teams that are practiced and have setups and stuff, than it does in matchmaking. Matchmaking is
Yeah.
just people running off spawn, aggressive, fucking flying at you, statting. Like But the basics still remain the same. Like I can go into match. It's very rare that you'll see me get shit on in a matchmaking game. Like I'm making the highest percentage plays and catching people left and right because they're making stupid ass plays. You know, like or challenging me when they're down a shot. Like or I have a thrust. They see I have a thrust and they still challenge me to the death. Like I'm gonna win that fight 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like. And I know that I have the advantage, so I'm playing aggressive because I know I have the advantage. Like,
Gotcha.
if I'm in a straight up 1v1 and I have thrust and somebody doesn't, I will challenge the fuck out of you. You know, like because I know I should win that fight.
Got it.
So, again, it's like there's a lot that I'm thinking about in the game. Even like when we just played, you know, that Aquarius game of like every time I'm spawning, I'm assessing where you guys are at, and I'm making my play based on what you guys are doing.
Right. Makes sense.
But yeah, the game obviously plays much differently if it's just like you four running matchmaking against 4 good players or against 4 players that are an actual team. It's going to be more. The biggest thing is it's going to be more organized, and you can't get away with like faded plays that are like you're making a solo play by yourself and hoping that you don't get caught. You're going to get caught way more against a team that's communicating and playing off of each other than you will in matchmaking. So just keep that in mind. Like that's again, all the basics still apply, but it's amplified when you're playing against a team that's communicating because you're getting called out at that point. They know as soon as you've been spotted, their entire team knows where you're at.
Right.
So you just always got to keep that in the back of your mind. Like that's why I said earlier, like if you're one of the last guys alive and they haven't spotted you yet, you should be making a sneaky play, like you know, flanking somewhere, you know, out of the open, or making a play that they might not know what you're doing.
Right.
You know, those work out pretty successfully, pretty often.
Nice.
But in fours, obviously you're being called out. So if you get spotted, you have to play with that information. Okay, I've been spotted. I cannot be sneaky anymore. I have to just play, you know, put myself in good position.
Yeah, run to your teammates if you can.
Yeah, run to your teammates, find your teammates. It was like the situation I saw when you were the last guy alive in tires and like flowers area. You were getting surrounded, but as soon as I spawned cafe, you should have worked your way right back towards like square, blue gen area, so that me and you could have worked together, and I could have potentially saved you.
Right.
It's something minor, but that's like what you constantly got to be thinking about. Like, okay, all my teammates died. I'm going to try and stay alive until they spawn, and then I'm going to work towards them as soon as they spawn.
Sounds good. Yep.
And vice versa. So just keep it up. Again, like you guys will start getting faster with recognizing the more you play together, the more you're calming, the more you're finding yourself in these situations again. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like knowing it too.
You can't just spawn up. You can't just like spawn up and mindlessly just run somewhere for no reason. Like,
of course.
There should be a reason you're doing everything that you're doing. Like. You spawn up near drop shield on streets, you should go grab that drop shield every time and utilize it before you die. Every time.
Yeah.
Same with thrust. If you spawn near sub and thrust is up, you should go get thrust every single time. There's really no scenario where you would not go out of your way to go get thrust. It's that important.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you're playing top tower and then they grab it because you say, it's all right, and then they just outplay you with the thrust.
Yeah, it happens all the time in matchmaking where somebody doesn't go out of their way for something, and then I'll die to it because my teammate didn't go for it or I didn't go for it.
Makes sense.
So
makes sense.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason.
Anyways,
Thanks,
yeah, absolutely. It was good to talk to you guys. I hope everything keeps rolling for you guys.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
keep up the grind.
It was good. Hey, Lunch, y'all don't have any extra VIP tickets, you?
I don't get any VIP tickets.
Oh shit, for real?
Really.
I got my wife and my buddy coming, and they'll be just general admission.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Are you coming to Worlds?
I'm thinking about it.
Like to.
Yeah,
I'm in Denver, so it's not too far.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Is Fierce still
In
there?
Seattle, right?
Yeah, Fierce is going.
Oh, nice. How nice.
Fierce and my wife.
Yeah,
I only been to one event
about it.
though. Dallas 09, but like I'd like to go to it. Remember when they had like the Stride gum and like the Dr. Pepper stations and shit?
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah, Stride. Yeah. I had Stride sponsoring me at one point. That was always nice.
Yeah,
that was the orgs back in the day where the individual sponsors.
T-Squared was the Dr. Pepper bottles. What's he doing? I heard he was getting back into it.
He still commentates off and on. He does Apex a lot, commentating Apex.
Oh, nice.
Gotcha.
That's funny.
Halo.
Well, cool, man. I personally don't want to keep you much longer.
You're good. I got to bounce.
Take care, dude. It's been an honor, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great to talk to you guys. I appreciate you guys listening and being receptive.
Yeah, I'll
catch
you guys
you
up in about 20 minutes if you want to run games.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Lunch, thanks again always. You have a good one, bro.
You're welcome. See you guys.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Woo! That's the end of the stream. Nah, just kidding. Hey, how do you feel, Monkey? If he's even there, he's gone. That's the